Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I am super pumped for this episode. Last episode we got the reveal of Archer's true identity, and obviously that is Shirou's future. That's, Archer's true identity, Shirou. And wow. That was an amazing reveal, and I'm excited to find out more information regarding that, such as when he formed or forms the contract. Maybe it's been formed already. If it's been formed already, it likely would have been during the fire. I don't know how likely that is, though. But maybe we'll get information on when he forms the contract. More information about how he's gotten to the point that he has. Just stuff like that. I don't know. I'm super interested in seeing everything about Archer and Shirou and how they connect. And then obviously we have the possible fight against Archer. Archer wants to kill us, and he's used Tosaka to, as bait to bring us to the Einsburn mansion. So I guess that's what's going to be happening in today's episode. I'm super excited to see where this takes us. All right, let's jump right into it. We leave my house. Who would have thought I would go to that castle again? Apparently not. What's up, Lancer?
Huh?
We both turn around. Oh. Come to think of it, Lancer was still here.
I
guess he does. He just slips out. He must be self-conscious as he doesn't try to retort.
ランサー、あなたが何を企んでいるかは知りませんが、私たちに同行しても得るものはありません。アーチャーはすでにマスターを持たないサーバント。
Is he? Yeah, I guess he is. I'm dumb. I thought she said Lancer is a servant without a master. I was like, is he? Do we know that for a fact? But yeah, no, Archer definitely is.
あなたのマスターが倒したがるとは思えませんが。
ああ、わかってる。別にアーチャーの野郎をどうこうしようって気はねえ。坊主と奴の殺し合いにも手は出さねえから安心しろ。
Then why are you coming?
では何のためについてこようというのです。私との決着を望むのなら、ここでつけても構いませんが。
Dang. Okay.
いや、それも願い下げだな。俺は貴様のマスターと敵対する気はない。むしろ売りたいのはオンでね。ここらで貸しを作っておこうと、そういう腹だ。
Bro really just came right out with it. Saber glares at Lancer, and Lancer ignores her. That face. I love that sprite. I truly love that sprite. It's always funny when she uses that one.
シロ、ランサーは敵です。そのような軽い決断は。
その点は大丈夫だろう。そいつ根性ひん曲がってるけど嘘を言うやつじゃないし、何より回りくどいことなんてできない。
Fair.
俺たちを騙し。
それはそうですが、しかし。
いや、セイバーが嫌だって言うなら追っ払う。けどこいつ放っておいてもついてくるぞ。それならそばにいさせて監視した方が楽だろ
う。That's a good point. Or like earlier in the route when Saber just was following him. He's gonna follow us just like that. That'd be funny.
たった数日で随分と口がうまくなったのですね、シロ。
Are we?
いや、いろいろあったから。ま、そういうことだ、ランサー。俺たちもあんたに関与しないから、あんたも俺たちには口を出さない。それでいいなら一緒に行こう。
I say to the guy that's watching us with a smile.
十分だ。いや、いいコンビじゃねえか。
Yeah, too bad, she's not our servant anymore.
セイバーは見ての通り融通が利かないからな。お前が大人になってくれて助かったぜ。
そのようなことはありません。融通が利かないのはむしろシロの方だ。私がどれほど苦労したか、あなたに何がわかるのです。
You're both stubborn.
さあ、なんだ？聞けば話してくれるのか、セイバ いいぜ。城までは随分とある。道中お前の苦労話を魚としよ
う。You gonna tell me if I ask?
なぜ私がそのようなことを説明しなくてはならないのです。それこそあなたには無関係ではないですか。
Bro, Lancer is really pushing her buttons, and this is hilarious. Saber roars at Lancer. I guess Saber doesn't get along well with Saber. Oh my goodness. Saber, yeah. Saber doesn't get along well with Saber. I guess Saber doesn't get along well with Lancer. But I never thought Saber would get angry like Tosaka.
それより行くぞ。遊んでる暇はないんだ。できるだけ早く城に行かなくちゃいけないんだからな。
I leave the two and start walking.
シロ、私は遊んでいるわけではありません。
She's so mad. She must still be mad. She yells at me. Lancer follows us from a distance. What the heck? It's midnight right now. I know how far the castle is from here. We should make it in time. We'll probably get there around dawn. We start to walk to the masterless old castle. Oh, I didn't realize I was that close to the end of the day. Or I might have just waited till we got here. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, we're at an interlude. Alright, more Tosaka? Yep. It is daybreak. The knight in red is leaning against a pillar and staring at his arm. Putting strength in his fingers, he makes a fist. His body is only half responding. Even heroic spirits cannot maintain their existence in this world without their masters. He still exists because of the special class ability of Archer, but he's almost at his limits. His remaining strength is not even a tenth of his original powers. His muscles are weak, and his body will slowly disappear if he loses focus. But there's no problem. Even if he has less than a tenth of his original power, it is enough to kill Emiya Shirou. Considering the difference in their abilities, this isn't even a handicap. Therefore, it will end once they fight. His one and only objective will be accomplished here. That's right. He has waited for this time. He has endured the endless repetition hoping for this chance. He has awaited a miracle that would not occur, a miracle with a probability close to 0. And his wish was granted. No, it is about to be granted. He does not care what awaits him afterwards. He will kill his own self with his own hands. The hopeless, futureless wish is what kept him going after he wore out.
長かったのか、それとも刹那に過ぎなかったのか。
He is an existence that disappears after each summoning. His memory does not remain, no matter how many times he repeats the cycle. It only stays in his body as knowledge. Heroic spirits recognize other heroic spirits because of these accumulated facts. It's just like a book. Every time a heroic spirit is summoned, the book with its story is sent to its home. The heroic spirit itself remains in the house, reading those books. The trouble is that the one at the house does not know when those books arrived. Past or future do not matter. All the books are already in his room. His only way of measuring time is to read the records of his cleaning that he will accomplish. It makes no difference if it's eternal or instantaneous. Eternity is instantaneous, and an instant is eternal. Therefore, he does not know how rare this miracle is. He does not know if this is the first time or the 1000th time since he obtained this hope. All he has is unordered knowledge. Past, present, and future are meaningless for heroic spirits.
来客か。邪魔は入らんというから来てやったのだがな。
Oh, did someone else show up? The knight in red suddenly gets up. Did his ears hear the sound of the intruder? Footsteps echo through the silent castle.
へえ、驚きだね、遠坂。半信半疑だったけど、本当にこんなところにいたんだ。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. So what, now Gilgamesh is in the fray? Are you serious? And Archer's like 1/10 of his power. Gilgamesh would whoop him. A voice echoes. The rude intruder is a boy called Mato Shinji.
おっと、物騒な真似はなしだぜ、アーチャー。こっちはお前に用はないんだ。お前だって遠坂に用はないんだろ。ならここで殺し合うことはないんじゃない？
Is he going to be cold enough to give Tosaka to Shinji? Mato Shinji walks forward with light steps, or, well, whatever Shinji wants with Tosaka. He's looking at Tosaka, who is tied up. The girl glares silently at the intruder. That must delight him. He licks his lips in satisfaction and walks to the girl.
Huh?
Stared down by the night, Mato Shinji looks up in annoyance.
何？やるっていうの？本気かよ。お前なんて相手になるわけないじゃんか。
He smiles and turns back to the entrance. There stands a man with golden hair, the eighth servant, Gilgamesh. He is, literally, a disaster. The golden servant looks at the knight with cool eyes, but within them, the red eyes only show the intent to brutally kill the enemy in front of him. The knight in red is still silent. It makes no difference even if Mato Shinji appears or if the strongest servant is ready to attack him. The knight calmly stares at the uninvited enemies.
ブルってるんだろ、アーチャー。いいんだぜ。別に恥じゃない。あいつはバーサーカーだって難なく始末したサーバントなんだからさ。お前がおじけつくのも当然。
リンが欲しいのか、マトシンジ。
Oh my god.
え？ああ、当然じゃないか。そうでもなければ、こんな城には近寄らないよ。
Tell me he's not this cold.
そうか。ならば事が済むまで待て。エミやシロを始末した後ならばくれてやる。それまで、あれは私のものだ。それが聞きぬとあらば仕方がない。不本意だが、ここで死ぬことになるぞ、ギルガメッシュ。
What are the odds that he has the power to do that noble phantasm rain by watching Gilgamesh do it? Like in the past at some point. I don't know. Is that likely? Probably not. That's probably... I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, there's nothing saying he couldn't have just seen the noble phantasms for himself and then, like, learned to just throw them all at his enemy, like Gilgamesh does, rather than having seen Gilgamesh do it. The knight's eyes remain on the golden servant as he speaks.
愉快だな、道化。
Were those words reason enough for the man to kill Archer? The golden servant identifies the knight in front of him as a target he must kill.
待て、ギルガメッシュ。早まるなよ。ことはスマートに行こう。いいじゃん。くれるってんだからもらっておこう。どうせアーチャーはマスターがいないんだ。何度も裏切ったこいつと契約するマスターなんていないんだしさ。ほっとけば消えるんだろ。遠坂はその後でもらえばいい。
It's a logical plan, even if Gilgamesh would probably annihilate Archer in his current state. Mato Shinji smiles and stares at the knight in red. It looks as if he is enjoying the fate of the one who is about to disappear.
賢明だな、マトシンジ。その判断は的確だ。君はある意味、誰よりもマスターにふさわしい。
Yeah, it is an intelligent decision, but...
なんだ。あんた見どころあるじゃん。もったいない。それなら僕のところに来てれば契約してやったのに。
Stepping away from the knight, Mato Shinji claps his hands happily.
けど、悪いね。もう他のサーバントなんていらないんだ。残念だけどさ。おとなしく消えちゃってよ。あんた。
I think as long as he, As long as he kills Shirou, he does not care.
言われるまでもない。それで結局どうするのだ。ここで私と戦うか。
ああ、待ってやるよ。エミヤを始末するまで遠坂は僕たちが守ってやろうじゃないか。
Are Saber and Lancer gonna try to get Tosaka back? And if so, are they combined capable of beating Gilgamesh? It's quite possible. I mean, I don't think they definitely wouldn't be pushovers, but it's still Gilgamesh. He very well, like if he was fully serious, might be able to beat the both of them. But Saber fully powered up, I don't know. We'd have to see. Like, I'm not good at the theoretical, like, power scaling with fights. Like, we just have to see if it happens or not. Let's just keep going.
けど、そうだな。となると、あれはもう僕のだろ。なら何をしても構わないと思わない？
What are you planning on doing? He stares at the knight and Tosaka Rin with snake-like eyes. His words are to test the loyalty of the knight.
傷をつけるなというのがエミやシローとの契約だが、それは夜明けとともに消える。刻限が来たのなら、あとは好きにするがいい。
My God, Archer. The knight in red replies in an emotionless voice. Man.
聞いたかよ、遠坂。お前のサーバント、マスターを売っ払うってさ。
That's just... Man, Archer has a... we know that Archer is, like, pretty cold. But wow, that is next level. I don't know if he has some sort of secret plan here. I can't see what it would be. Like, at this point, it's just his goal is kill Shirou and then be cool with disappearing afterwards. Right? Like, he's just at the point where he does not care about Tosaka at all. That is so cold. Sneering laughter echoes in the dirty room. The knight exits as if he's not interested. Archer passes by Gilgamesh. Archer ignores his mocking gaze and walks into the hallway. At that instant...
Faker.
The King of Heroes says so as if despising him. Ooh. Dang. Call him a faker. That's tough. Is that like Gilgamesh just like realizing that he's not like a hero, or well, he is a heroic spirit, but not like in the sense that everyone else is? Or calling him like a faker for betraying his masters like that, or I don't know exactly what he means by it, but it's obviously still quite an insult. It's daybreak. There's less conversation as we make our way through the forest, and the silence gets heavier. I, Emiya Shirou, must fight that man when we get to the castle. There's no chance of victory, and a certain loss awaits. I know I'll just be killed once we start fighting. I'm not scared, but it's not because I'm prepared for it. If you talk about dying, that man is already dead. It is equivalent for Emiya Shirou to be dead the moment I figured that out. That being the case, I have no reason to worry. We go through the castle gate. Saber looks gloomy, maybe because she knows what kind of a fight awaits us. What's troubling her is him and me. No matter who gets killed and who survives, the one to be eliminated is the same. Her desire to stop this ridiculous fight is causing her pain. Her eyes stare at the sky sharply, and maybe she's angry at the meaningless battle. I could see that. The hall is a ruin now. This place, covered with the morning mist, will become our place of death.
来たか。 随分と遅い到着だな、エミやシロ。
A cold voice echoes. The familiar voice comes from the second floor. The man is standing at the top of the stairs, which are lit by the morning sun. His red outfit is far away, and his figure is hazy in the white glare. But I can see him. I can see my enemy in detail. That should be the same for the man with the hawk eyes, the servant with the role of archer given to him. He is an archer, but not an archer, and he is a contradictory existence that has many noble phantasms, yet carelessly destroys them. All his noble phantasms are duplicates, and the fact that he's about to produce swords in infinite numbers is his noble phantasm. Not about to. The fact that he's able to produce swords in infinite numbers is his noble phantasm. I was the only one who did not realize his true identity. Heroic spirits are summoned from every age. If nobody from the past corresponds to him, then the heroic spirit must be from the future.
ようやく気づいた。あのペンダントが2つあるはずがない。あれはもともと。
Yeah. I completely missed this detail, huh? I completely missed the pendant. Whoops. That's something that really should have clued me in a bit sooner, honestly. Trace on was kind of like a dead giveaway. I think the pendant was like the hint.
そうだ。あれは命を救われたお前が生涯持ち続けたもの。この世に2つとない。遠坂凛の父の形見だ。
It is impossible that two such pendants should exist. Emiya Shirou held on to the pendant throughout his life, as he says, then...
英霊の召喚には必ず触媒が必要となる。
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Wow.
お前がセイバーを召喚したように、召喚者と英霊にはつながりがなくてはならない。遠坂凛には英霊を呼び出すための触媒がなかった。故に、彼女は呼び出したサーバントに何の縁もないと思い込んだ。
And that just wasn't true.
だが、偶然で呼び出される英霊などいない。召喚者と英霊には必ず物質的な縁が必要となる。
If he's right, there can only be one answer. If Tosaka did not have a catalyst connected to Archer, then...
そう。召喚者ではなく、呼び出された英霊そのものが召喚者に縁のあるものを持っていた場合のみだ。
The jewel is the only one of its kind. My life was saved, but I did not know who saved me, so I held on to the pendant which I thought belonged to my savior. That's the answer. If he has Tosaka's pendant, then there is only one person who he can be. Heroic spirit Emiya. The future me. The heroic spirit before me is Emiya Shirou, who perfected his skills and made his ideal come true. We already knew that, but the fact that, like, that it's obvious that I'm not somehow misunderstanding is insane. It is just insane to me. Man. The knight in red. Archer looks down at me from the top of the stairs. There's no one around him. He is standing alone in this vast hall.
Archer. 遠坂はどうした？
あの小娘なら城のどこかに置いてきたが、気に病むのなら急げ。お前が来るのが遅いのでな。先に来た的を真治にくれてやったところだ。
Yeah, he's not gonna take very kindly to that.
だと。
お前との約束は守っている。俺は手出しはせん。他の人間が彼女に何をしようが、結果は見えているがな。的真治は遠坂凛に情欲と敵害を抱いている。あれに凛を預ければどうなるかは考えるまでもない。凛に挑発された小僧は我慢できずに口火を切り、今頃は妙なことになっているかもしれんぞ。
Wow. I mean, right or not, I can't believe he's just okay with this. Like, Because we're gonna... Obviously, Shiro's not gonna be okay with this at all. Right? It's just... Archer's become so distorted that doesn't even bother him. I get pissed off. How can he say such a thing so calmly?
ああ、焦るな、坊主。あのお嬢ちゃんなら俺に任せろ。何？すぐに助け出してやる。
ランサ
マスターからの命令だな。元から俺はあのお嬢ちゃんを死なせないために協力したわけだ。いや、これが思いのほか居心地よくてな。昨日のは悪くなかった。自分の仕事を気に入れるっていうのは俺にとっては珍しい。
With those words, Lancer ignores Archer and heads to the west terrace.
ランサ
気にするな。これはあくまで俺の趣味だ。
Bro, you better be careful.
ま、今までいけすかねえ命令ばっかりだったからな。この命令は最後まで守り抜く。そっちはそっちで自分の面倒だけ見てやがれ。
ああ、遠坂を頼む。
He lightheartedly replies with a yes. Then, Lancer stops and turns around as if he remembered something.
おい、何してんだセイバー。お前も来るんだよ。
Yeah, he's gonna need Saber. Saber lowers her eyes painfully.
いいえ、私はここに残ります、ランサー。
Okay. I feel like Tosaka really needs your help. And that's your master right now, too. I know you still respect the oath with Shirou, but you'd think she'd try to keep Tosaka from getting murdered and raped. She stands next to me and replies, unlike a servant.
本気か？今のマスターはお嬢ちゃんだろ？サーバントが守るべきはマスターだけのはずだが。
分かっています。ですが、それでも私はここに残りたい。私はこの戦いを見守らなければ。
Is she gonna try to stop it somehow?
そうかよ。なら好きにしな。
Lancer leaves, easily jumps up to the terrace and disappears into the passageway. Archer does not do anything. It's as if he's saying Tosaka is useless now. I step over the rubble and walk forward. I'm heading to the center of the room, at the foot of the stairs. Forcing down her emotions, Saber stands still to watch over our battle.
手出しはしないか。それはありがたい。ここまで来てセイバーに邪魔をされるようでは、リンと契約を切った意味がないからな。
I can hear Saber's hesitation. Saber takes a quick breath and replies to the man at the top of the stairs.
ええ、私は手出しをしません。何があろうと、あなたとシロの戦いの邪魔はしない。
それは結構。ならば安心して、小僧を始末できるというものだ。
Is Shirou gonna actually, like, stand a chance here? Like, he has to, right? They're not... I mean, I doubt they're just gonna kill him off, right? So, I don't know how he would survive this. Because like Archer said, even at 1/10 of his power, he's almost certainly way more powerful than he needs to be to kill Shirou. Even if we've seen some strong moves from Shirou, like dealing with the Noble Phantasm Barrage, like, I don't think he could deal with Archer. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll, like, maybe he memorized the reality marble thing. Could you imagine if, Shirou, like, entered the reality marble? That'd be cool. But let's just see what happens. I can sit here and speculate all day.
はい。ですが、その代わりに一つだけ答えてほしい。アーチャー。なぜあなたはシロを殺そうというのです？
I would love an answer to this question.
なぜも何もないだろう。そいつが俺を認められないように、俺もそいつを認められないだけだよ。
そんなはずはない。あなたはシローだ。エミやシローという人物の理想、英雄となった姿があなたではないのですか？ならどうしてこんな自分を殺すような真似をするのです？
なぜそう思う？未熟だった頃のエミヤ・シロウと、エミヤと呼ばれる英雄となった俺は別の存在だ。そうでなければ同時に存在などできないが。
それはあなたがサーバントになったからでしょ。時間軸にとらわれない守護者になったのなら、自身が生きた時代に呼ばれることもあると聞きます。あなたはシロウだ。シロウがずっと思い描いて、その努力が叶った姿があなたのはずだ。なのに、どうして？
She finishes in a broken voice. Why are you so different? Not responding, he starts down the stairs. He cannot answer that question. If we were able to, we would not be fighting here.
Archer.
Saber steps forward to confront Archer.
いいんだ、セイバー。いいから下がっていてくれ。
I stop her with my hand and keep her at the entrance.
ですが、シロウ。
気持ちは嬉しい。けど、話しても無駄だ。あいつは初めから俺を殺すことだけが目的だったんだから。
Saber bites her lips in frustration. Her lip, not lips. Saber stares at me, then at Archer.
なぜなのです、アーチャー。私にはわからない。守護者とは死後、英霊となって人間を守るものと聞いた。その英霊がなぜ自分自身を殺そうなどと考えるのか。
守護者だと。
Maybe something she said got through to him. He stops and looks down at Saber without emotion.
違うよ、セイバー。守護者は人間を守るものではない。あれはただの掃除屋だ。俺が望んでいた英雄などでは断じてない。
His voice sounds different. Hatred and scorn fill it now.
アーチャー。
俺は確かに英雄になった。エミヤ・シロウという男が望んでいたように正義の味方になったんだ。
A superhero. Someone who will not harm anyone. Someone who will not retreat no matter what disaster he may face. Someone who can save everyone. Someone Emiya Shirou wanted to become. And that man became such a person.
アーチャー。
ああ、確かにいくらかの人間を救ってきたさ。自分にできる範囲で多くの理想を叶えてきたし、英雄と遠い昔から憧れていた地位にさえついにはたどり着いたこともある。
英雄にたどり着いた。ならシロウは報われたのですね。少なくともここにいるあなたはエミやシロウの理想を叶えられたのでしょう。ならあなたには悔いなどないはずだ。シロウはちゃんとその理想を叶えたのだから。
There's no conviction in her voice. She already knows. She knows that she's only voicing her own wish.
理想を叶えたか。確かに俺は理想通りの正義の味方とやらになったさ。だがその果てに得たものは後悔だけだった。残ったものは死だけだったからな。殺して殺して殺し尽くした。己の理想を貫くために多くの人間を殺して、無関係な人間の命などどうでもよくなるくらい殺して、殺した人間の数千倍の人々を救ったよ。
Saber stares at Archer, speechless. She looks like someone who saw her own mirror image.
そう。そんなことを何度繰り返したかわからないんだ。俺は求められれば何度でも戦ったし、争いがあるとしては死をとして戦った。何度も何度も、思い出せないほど何度もだ。
Man, it's hard to listen to, hard to read.
仕方がないだろ
う。Like what he went through.
何を救おうと救われない人間というものが出てきてしまう。何度戦いを終わらせようと新しい戦いは生み出される。そんなものがある限り正義の味方っていうのはあり続けるしかないんだから。
Who did he direct that to? The knight slowly descends the stairs and recounts his past.
だから殺したよ。一人を救うために何十という人間の願いを踏みにじってきた。踏みにじった相手を救うためにより多くの人間をないがしろにした。何十という人間の救いを殺して目に見えるものだけの救いを生かしてより多くの願いを殺してきた。今度こそ終わりだと、今度こそ誰も悲しまないだろうとつまらない意地を張り続けた。だが終わることなどなかった。生きている限り争いはどこに行っても目についた。キリがなかった。何も争いのない世界なんてものを夢見ていたわけじゃない。ただ俺はせめて自分が知り得る限りの世界では誰にも涙してほしくなかっただけなのにな。
Jeez, man. Obviously, we knew that repeating that cycle over and over is what caused it, like Archer to be as distorted as he is, but it just feels different reading this after realizing that he's Shirou, you know? And how much more in depth he goes, explaining why he is who he is now. That is definitely my own wish.
一人を救えばそこから視野は広がってしまうんだ。一人の次は10人、10人の次は100人、100人の次はさて何人だったか。そこでようやく悟ったよ。
それは
分かりきったことを聞くな、セイバー。君ならば何度も経験したことだろう。全ての人間を救うことはできない。国を救うためにほんの少しの人間を見殺しにするなんていうのは日常茶飯事だっただろう。
Based on what we know in the Fate route, that's honestly pretty true. The quiet voice is rendered powerless to object. The words of the Red Knight are Saber's darkness as well.
そう。席は限られている。幸福という椅子は常に全体の数より少なめでしか用意されない。その場にいる全員を救うことなどできないから結局誰かが犠牲になる。それを被害を最小限に抑えるためにいずれこぼれる人間を速やかに1秒でも早くこの手で切り落とした。
Jesus, man.
それが英雄とその男が理想と信じる正義の味方の取るべき行動だ。
The wish for nobody to become sad. The desire to save as many people as possible. When the two coexist and contradict each other, there is only one solution. The only people a superhero can save are the people he sides with. If one is to lose everything by trying to save everything, it is correct to sacrifice one to save more.
多くの人間を救うというのが正義の味方だろ。だから殺した。誰も死なさないようにと願ったまま大勢のために一人には死んでもらった。誰も悲しまないようにと口にしてその陰で何人かの人間には絶望を抱かせた。そのうちそれにも慣れてきてね。理想を守るために 理想に反し続けた。自分が助けようとした人間しか救わず、敵対した者は速やかに皆殺しにした。犠牲になる誰かを容認することで、かつての理想を守り続けた。
Jesus, man. I know this is like all I've said, but this is like hard to read.
それがこの俺、英雄エミヤの正体だ。そら、そんな男は今のうちに死んだ方が世のためと思わないか？
That's right. The only ones a superhero can save are people he sides with. But who was it that defied those words?
それは嘘です。たとえそうなったとしても、あなたならばその誰かを自分にして理想を追い続けたのではないですか。
You got him there. The knight stops for a second. A frown crosses his face.
あなたは理想に反したのではない。守ったはずの理想に裏切られ、道を見失っただけではないのですか。そうでなければ、こんな自分を殺すことで罪を償おうなどとは思わない。
His ironic smile disappears after coldly staring at Saber. He starts laughing like a madman, as if it's the funniest thing he's heard.
いや、これは傑作だ。俺が自分の罪を償う。バカなことを言うなよ、セイバー。償うべき罪などないし、他の誰にもそんな無責任なものを押し付けた覚えはない。
The knight calmly goes mad. He spoke in a small voice, but his laughter echoes through the hall.
ああ、そうだったよ、セイバー。確かに俺は何度も裏切られ、欺かれた。救ったはずの男に罪をかぶせられたこともある。死ぬ思いで争いを収めてみれば、争いの張本人だと押し付けられて、最後には公主代だ。そら、俺に罪があるというのなら、その時点で償っているだろう。
嘘だ、アーチャー。あなたの最後は。
まあ、そういうことだ。だが、そんなことはどうでもよかった。初めから感謝をしてほしかったわけじゃない。英雄などともてはやされる気もなかった。俺はただ、誰もが幸福だという結果だけが欲しかっただけだ。だが、それが叶えられたことはない。生前も、その死後。
Yeah, and it's not happening anytime soon. He stopped laughing. There's only hatred in his voice now.
守護者とは、霊長の存命のみを優先する無色の力だ。力は高きところにありて、人の世が滅亡する可能性が生じれば世に下る。それがただの奴隷であることは知っていた。死後、己が存在を守護者に預けた者は、輪廻の枠から外れ、無と同意になるのだと。それでも、誰かを救えるのならそれでいい。かつてのエミやシローは、その誓いを守れなかった。なら、守護者となって、人間の滅亡とやらを食い止める一端になるのなら、それでいいと思ったのだ。だが、実際は違う。守護者は人など救わない。守護者がすることはただの掃除だ。すでに起きてしまったこと、作られてしまった人間の業を、その力で無にするだけの存在だった。それは人を救うのではなく、世界に害を与えるであろう人々を 善悪の区別なくなくすだけ。絶望に嘆く人々を救うのではなく、絶望と無関係に生を謳歌する部外者を救うために、絶望する人々を排除するだけの殺戮者。馬鹿げた話だ。それが今までの俺と何が違う。
There's no difference. There was just more despair. He relied on a greater power since his powers alone were not enough, but it ended up being the same. He thought the power would make his wish come true, but it only made him do the same things on a greater scale.
アーチャー、あなたはずっとそんなことを。
I can drive anybody to this state.
それも慣れたよ。人間は繰り返す。どんな時代でも強者が弱者を奪い尽くすのだ。そしてそれが最も効率のいい繁栄だと思い知らされた。ああ、何度も見てきた。意味のない殺戮も、意味のない平等も、意味のない幸福も、俺自身が拒んでも見せられた。守護者となった俺にはもはや自分の意志などない。ただ人間の意志によって呼び出され、人間が作ってしまった罪の後始末をさせられるだけだったからな。
Him calling guardians cleaners, like, it's just like, it's a perfect analogy, honestly. Like he's been saying, like, Shirou's wish was to help people, be the superhero that saved people. But as a guardian, he was only ever called to clean up situations that have already occurred. The crime has already been created, you know? And he's forced to look upon them over and over and over again and not be able to really save everyone, you know? That is where he ended up. A being that repairs the damage caused by human desire. Guardians do not save people. Rather, they eliminate those who cannot be saved as if they never existed. Over and over. For many times he saw people nearly destroy themselves through their own actions, and he burned them down like trash each time. Save as many people as possible. The man became a hero with that one wish, but in the end, he cannot make it come true even once.
そうだ。それは違う。俺が望んだものはそんなことではなかった。俺はそんなもののために勝者になどなったのではない。
Jeez, man. His anger is probably directed at himself. What is standing there is a worn-out corpse. The hero Emi is doomed to always see the ugliness of those he wanted to save. He grew to hate them in the end. He grew to hate humans for repeating conflicts. He grew to hate himself for thinking that humans are sacred.
俺は人間の後始末など真っ平だ。だが守護者となった以上、この輪から抜け出す術はない。そう。ただ一つの例外を除いて。
That's killing Shirou, is my guess. Murderous intent flares in his cold eyes. He isn't looking at Saber. There's only one objective for Archer, to kill his own self. But even if he dies, the real body of Emiya, who is in the place outside of the cycle and not bound by time, will not disappear. There's no elimination for Guardians. They are nothing to start with. It is meaningless to kill something that is not part of the real world. But there's one way for him to disappear. If someone who is to become a hero is killed before he becomes a hero, that hero will never come into existence. Yeah. That's... Ever since I thought, like, that... Since I realized that Archer is Shirou, it was the only real explanation I could think of for why he wanted to kill him this bad. Was to prevent any of this, like him from ever even becoming a guardian. Therefore...
シロをここで殺すというのですか。 他でもない。あなた自身の手によって。
そうだ。その機会だけを待ち続けた。果てしなくゼロに近い確率だ。だが、それにかけた。そう思わなければ自身を許容できなかった。ただその時だけを希望にして、俺は守護者などというものを続けてきた。
それは無駄です、アーチャー。あなたはすでに守護者として存在しているのでしょう。ならもう遅い。今になって英雄となる前のエミやシロを消滅させたところで、あなた自身は消えはしない。
そうかもしれん。だが、可能性のない話ではあるまい。
Archer's trying to free himself from this cycle is what it really is. Or maybe trying to save Emiya Shirou. Like, you know, current one. From ever becoming Archer.
過去の改ざんだけでは通じないだろうが、それが自身の手によるものならば、矛盾は大きくなる。歪みが大きければ、あるいは、ここでエミヤという英雄は消滅する。それにな、セイバー。俺はこの時だけを待って守護者を続けてきたのだ。今さら結果など求めていない。これはただの八つ当たりだ。くだらぬ理想の果てに道化となり果てるエミヤシロという小僧へのな。
Jeez. In a way, he doesn't even care if it makes him disappear or not. And the knight in red comes down to the hall. Only Archer and I stand in the hall filled with rubble. There's nothing separating us. The reason is simple. He wants to kill me. I just want to beat him up because I don't like him. I walk to the center of the hall. I won't be able to back out once I take a few more steps. But before that...
Archer, お前、後悔してるのか?
There's one thing I have to ask him.
無論だ。俺。いや、お前は正義の味方になどなるべきではなかった。
He spits those words out. And that dispels my last doubts.
そうか。それじゃあ、やっぱり俺たちは別人だ。
Ooh, that's a line. As Shiro's already said, no matter what, he'd never regret his path. So he's saying at this point, this isn't Emiya Shirou.
何?
俺は後悔なんてしないぞ。どんなことになったって後悔だけはしない。だから絶対にお前のことも認めない。お前が俺の理想だって言うんなら、そんな間違った理想は俺自身の手で叩き出す。
Dang, okay, Shirou. That's how I've been living up to now. I've always believed that I am right. As he says, I'm sure it's full of false courage and distortion. I've lost more than I've gained. But that's all the more reason why. I cannot withdraw for the sake of the things I've lost. I walk forward. My circuit has already started sketching the blueprint in my mind.
その考えがそもそもの元凶なのだ。お前もいずれ俺に追いつく時が来る。
来ない。そんなもん絶対に来るもんか。
Just rejecting that future.
ほう。それはつまり、その前にここで俺に殺されるということか。
That's a pretty nice response. Pretty witty. I take a step towards my enemy. We're close enough to strike at each other. We don't have any weapons. We confront each other empty-handed. Emiya Shirou is not a swordsman. We are beings that create swords. Then...
分かっているようだな。俺と戦うということは、牽制を競い合うということだと。
Twin swords appear in his hands. That night. The simple twin swords I admired in the Ryudo temple. Rare swords that a legendary craftsman made at the price of his wife.
トレース。オン。
I activate the completed blueprint and reproduce the twin swords using my image. What a bad job. The twin swords I once thought were perfect are too unprecise compared to his. An inferior illusion will become a delusion. Probably My swords will shatter and disappear when they crash against his. I take another step. Crunch. The rubble crunches under my foot. That serves as the signal.
俺の牽制についてこれるか。わずかでも精度を落とせば、それがお前の死に際になろう。
Yeah. The opposing swords sweep through the air. They're drawn together like magnets and clash into each other. Interlude. Is this going to be an interlude? It's totally an interlude. Yep. Oh my god. Really? I take it in the status screen. We just have Shirou's true name for Archer. Yep. We got, This is Emiya Shirou, who became a hero through a miracle. A blacksmith hero, who can use a reality marble without penalty to forge numerous weapons. Other details are unknown. Oh, wrong Archer. Dang, even his highest stat in magic isn't really that high compared to other heroes. Yeah, that scene was amazing. Oh my god, that was almost that was that long? We're an hour in already? Oh dear god. Wow. Okay. Okay. Before we get too much in the intermission, I want to talk about it. Just this scene really dives into Archer and kind of his mentality and why he is who he is at this point, right? How being a guardian, it was never what he envisioned it to be, and how, he absolutely regrets it and everything that's come of it. Obviously, that's not really doing the scene justice, right? That brief little description, but it was a powerful scene, and I was just kind of left speechless for most of it. So I wanted to at least acknowledge that I loved that scene. It was a great scene. And I just didn't have much to say. I couldn't think of anything to say, so I just went along with the ride. But let's go ahead and get through this interlude and see exactly what happens during the fight. Well, both of them, I suppose. Probably Lancer against Gilgamesh, and then Archer against Shirou. I mean, jeez. Looking forward to their fight, man. Seeing if Shirou can escape this, right? Shirou still has the determination, that makes him Shirou. He's not gonna roll over and die just because Archer, his future self regrets his path. And in fact, for him, that's a sign that he's not even the same person. That what he's been through as a guardian makes him not even the same Shirou. So, I'm really looking forward to see how that fight resolves. So let's just keep going. The search ends rather quickly. Lancer is thought to be specialized in battle, but he's actually skilled in magic. Guidebolg is not the only thing he obtained in the Country of Shadows. He's the hero who obtained all 18 of the Runes of Origin. But since he prefers to battle using his lance, the magic rarely gets used. And now is one of the rare times.
Yosh, atari ka.
The thing that flies above the floor suddenly drops. The Bracana rune finishes its search and turns back into a stone.
誰だお前
An unfamiliar boy stands up in confusion. Lancer realizes that he knows the voice and recalls who he is.
ライダーのマスターじゃねえか。なんだ、とっくの昔にくたばったもんと。
He stops halfway. He sees Tosaka Rin behind the boy. She's tied to a chair. That's fine. That's to be expected since she's captured. But there's a bit more to the girl. First of all, the chair is on the ground. She's tied to the chair, so Tosaka Rin is also on the ground. Her long black hair is covered in sand, and something red can be seen on her mouth. She must have cut her lip. There's also a slight bruise by her mouth.
お前ランサーかなんだよ誰に断ってここに来たんだ話が違うぞお前はキャー
The fist smashes into Mato Shinji's cheek. The light back fist blows the boy to the wall.
おお、ああ、悪いなガキ。口より先に手が出ちまった。
He didn't kill the boy since it was unconscious. But it would not have been unconscious if Tosaka-rin looked paler and her clothes were more disordered. He would have consciously tried to blow the boy's head off if that were the case. Okay, so nothing much has happened to her then? Or else, Lancer would have made the executive decision to absolutely murderize this dude? Actually, Lancer does not care how a captive is treated, but he will not tolerate having his spoil snatched by someone else. Oh. I really hope he means that in the sense like this is my mission, not in the I'll have Tosaka for myself, please. Which is what I'm worried is exactly what he's thinking. Spoils for him are enemies he has to kill and women he favors. Oh no. Are you serious? Tosaka-rin groans, still tied up to the chair. She must have been unconscious as her voice is not too much different from when she wakes up.
Yeah, 朝だぜ。起きろ、ぐうたら。
Lancer gives an out-of-place greeting and walks to Tosaka-rin.
なんでここアインツベルンの城よ。
承知している。ああ、いいから動くな。今その手枷を切ってやる。その後は好きにしろ。広間に行ってバカどもの喧嘩を止めるなり、裏口から帰るのも自由だ。
The red lance appears.
それは助かるけど。ランサー、後ろ。
Lancer turns around at Rin's warning.
な、に
The one appearing there is unexpected even for him. The corner of the room, the one walking past Mato Shinji is...
そこまでだ、ランサー。協力しろとは言ったが、深入りしろとは言わなかったぞ。
That is not who I expected. I fully expected Gilgamesh. Kodamine Kirei, the one assumed to have been killed by Castor. Rin lets out a surprised voice. Lancer glares suspiciously at the priest.
おい、いつから終始買いしやがったんだ、お前。俺のマスターは表には出てこないのが信条だったんじゃなかったか。
変えるような終始などない。そういうお前こそ命令違反だぞ、ランサー。アーチャーの始末を命じたはずだが、潜んじたか。
Oh wow, did he really? He just straight up disobeyed that order.
あれは放っといても自滅する。その前にやり残した仕事を片付けに来たんだが、お前がここにいるということは、そこのガキはお前の差し金か。
That is correct.
人聞きが悪いな。彼とは協力関係だ。聖杯を手に入れるため、共に認め合った仲だが。
So does this mean Kirei is going to somehow end up a villain again? The priest says so without looking at the boy moaning in the rubble.
そう。あんたがそう簡単にくたばるわけないと思ったけど、しぶとく生きてるばかりか。裏でこそこそ手を回してたのね。悪趣味ここに極まるっていうか。人畜無害なシンジを懐柔してどうしようっていうのよ、キレ。
Even Shinji can cause some harm with Gilgamesh.
なるほど。あれを人畜無害と取るか。この状況においてもお前は遠坂凛らしい。もう少し出来の悪い弟子ならば惜しむこともないのだが。
The priest laughs. He looks and sounds as though he's giving a benediction to the dying. A chill runs up the girl's spine. At that moment, she realizes her fate. With a saintly smile, the priest gazes upon the sacrifice who had been his pupil for the past 10 years. Oh right. I kind of forgot about that conversation. Oh my god. I definitely forgot about the whole, because they mentioned it in the Ainsburn Castle, right? Gilgamesh basically said she would do fine in Ilya's place.
待てよ琴峰。その女はどうするつもりだ。教え子を助けたいといったお前の言葉は嘘だったのか。
Lancer glares at his master while standing in front of the girl.
嘘なものか。彼女はここまで育てた大切な駒だ。10年にわたり欺き続けたのだから、そう簡単にリタイアされてはつまらん。故にお前に彼女の警護を任せたのだ。わずか2日ばかりの延命だったが、親心としては十分すぎるのではないかな。
Sure. The priest walks past Lancer and looks down at the girl on the ground. The girl glares at her former instructor.
SS 神父。あんたならやりかねないと思ったけど、本当にマスターだったなんてね。監督役のくせにゲームに参加するなんて、反則もいいところじゃない。
その割には落ち着いているな、リン。やはり気づいてはいたのか。
She had definitely at least considered the possibility, it would seem.
当然でしょ。自分のサーバントを見せなかったのもあんたを疑ってたからだもの。けどね、まさか初めっから騙されてるとは思わなかったわ。
初めから。
Then, the priest frowns as if the words are unexpected.
何よ、文句あるっていうの？キレ。
いや、初めからというが、それはどのあたりを指しているのかと思ってな。
The priest grins. He looks down at the girl with utmost pleasure.
もっと。キレ、あんた。
それは今回の聖杯戦争が始まってからか。それとも、お前が言う初めからとは。
With that, the girl understands everything. Her face turns pale, and she looks up at the man she studied under for 10 years in disbelief.
そう。殺したのはあんただったんだ。
Oh. Oh, yeah, that would make sense, huh?
当然だろう。恩師であったからな。騙し討ちはたやすかった。
Wow. That would make a lot of sense, actually. I hadn't thought about how he was in the Holy Grail War. And, because I was like, dang, I guess it was him and, Tosaka's father. Or, Rin's father. Right? How, they were both in. Like, dang, that's crazy. Means we already knew, what, 3 of the people who were in the war? Because, you know, freaking Shirou's, why can't I remember Kiritsugu's, what is his name? I don't remember. That's not relevant right now. I'm dumb. I just can't remember. Wait. I'm really dumb. I just asked what is Kiritsugu's name. It just ignore me, guys. I'm dumb. I thought we knew 3 of them already, but I guess that makes a lot more sense. A grinding sound. The girl hangs her head and grits her teeth.
行き場に迷えクソ神父。断言してやるけど、あんたに居場所なんてないんだからね。地獄だってあんたみたいなのは願い下げで、煉獄だって他の連中がずぶとくなる点でたらい回しよ。
God dang.
あんたみたいな生き損ないはね、性に合わない天国あたりで針のむしろにくるまってろっての。
Jesus, man, she is mad. That's an understatement, and that's saying the obvious. But the girl keeps on cursing him. You don't see this from Tosaka very often. Of course, the priest does not care about such things. But the boy is overawed by her change. Mato Shinji never thought Tosaka Rin would show this much emotion.
琴峰、遠坂は僕がもらったんだって知ってるだろう。あいつに用があるのは僕だけだ。あんたはただ教会でこっちの守備を待ってればいいんだよ。
いや、用ならばある。 彼女にはここで聖杯になってもらわねばならないからな。
Yeah, so she's gonna be in Ilya's place. Makes sense. Mato Shinji does not understand what the priest is saying. The only ones who understand are the priest and the sacrifice, Tosaka Rin.
アーチャーとセーバーが消えればいい加減頃合いだ。いらぬ抵抗され、鮮度を落とされても困る。ことは迅速に済ませてしまおう。
When Saber disappears, is that about to happen? Is he gonna sever their connection? Or does he still think that, Shirou is Saber's master? Maybe Lancer never actually reported that? I feel like it's more likely that he's just gonna try to sever the connection himself. The priest walks away from the girl with those words. The only one in front of Tosaka Rin is Lancer.
琴峰、貴様。
そのゴミを始末しろ、ランサー。器に心臓はいらん。
Only Mato Shinji reacts to those words. Tosaka Rin glares at the priest, but bites her lip without speaking. The priest's smile already told her that she was going to be killed here. She understands that she will not be saved, and that she won't be hurt even if she begs for her life. That's why she doesn't complain. That is the only way she can resist, and that is her will of opposition. She won't give up until the very last second. Help might arrive even at this moment, and she might be the only one that survives after this room miraculously crumbles. She won't give up, but she also understands it's impossible. I think right now what we need is Shinji to decide that's not happening, right? And call in Gilgamesh. That's why she has no fear, except for one thing. She imagines that boy's expression when he finds her dead after coming to save her. She doesn't want him to cry. It angers her that she's the cause of his tears, and she doesn't know how she can apologize to him. No, she can't apologize if she dies, but she still doesn't want him to cry. There's no way. So she decides to apologize ahead of time. It does no good, but it calms her down.
どうしたランサー。相手は少女だ。貫くのはたやすかろう。
The priest shows no mercy. To that,
お断りだ。今回のは従えねえ。俺にやらせたかったら、その霊樹でも使うんだな。
Lancer replies while looking at the priest as if he is an enemy.
何？
The priest narrows his eyes. The master and the slave. The air inside the room freezes as they stare at each other.
そうか。仕方あるまい。自分でできることに霊樹を消費するわけにはいかんのだが。
He raises his left arm. The priest activates the command spell on his arm.
では命じよう。自害しろ、ランサー。
What? What? Are you serious? He vomits up blood. That is nothing compared to the blood spilling from his chest.
琴峰、貴様。
His voice is a whisper now. The spearman, Lancer's chest and heart are pierced by his own lance.
さらばだ。お前の役目はとうに終わっている。
Oh my god. What? Who just kills their own servant like that? The man in blue armor falls to the floor. Dang. It was the homie Lancer, too. I really liked him. That sucks. Redness permeates the floor. There's no sign of him getting back up. The spearman in blue has been defeated by his own lance at the command of his own master. Talk about betrayal. The priest moves. He walks over to the girl and crouches down. Her heart. He stoops so that he can easily pull out Tosaka Rin's heart.
琴峰、約束が違うじゃないか。遠坂は僕にくれるって言っただろう。
The priest gives the boy a wordless glance.
ダメだ。遠坂はダメだ。そいつには借りがいっぱいあるんだから。 生きていてくれなくちゃ困る。
The fact that Shinji is our last hope to keep Tosaka alive is the worst feeling ever. Mato Shinji protests, his teeth chattering at the sight of Lancer's corpse. Where's Gilgamesh? But he stops. The boy slowly retreats, unable to take the priest's stare. The priest looks from the boy back to the girl.
最後に何か言い残すことはあるか。遺言ぐらいは聞こう。
His words are simple.
こういう時の私が何を考えているか、あんたなら知ってるはずでしょ。
Tosaka Rin answers in her normal manner. Maybe she could use a command spell from there? Like, will it work if she's tied up like that? I don't know.
そうだな。最後まで諦めないのがお前だ、リン。
I'd assume she can't, or else she would have.
同時に覆らない現実を瞬時に認めるのもお前の素晴らしさだ。いいぞ。その矛盾はなかなかに芳醇だ。
He shows no hesitation. The priest grabs the girl's breast, right on top of her heart. The girl closes her eyes at the sensation. A pierce. The heart is pierced and blood gushes out. Even after being abandoned, the room is still used as a disposal for corpses. The one to gasp is Tosaka Rin. A pierce. The heart is pierced and blood gushes out. That doesn't necessarily mean Tosaka's, right? If we're extraordinarily lucky. Then maybe Gilgamesh just killed Kirei. Blood drips onto the floor. The dripping sound is made by something above her. From the chest of the priest who is looking down at the girl. Yep, looks like it. Blood pours from his mouth. The wound on his chest is fatal. The weapon protruding from his back is the cursed lance that always strikes its target. What? Did Lancer get up? The priest shows no emotion. With his lips covered in blood, he turns to Lancer.
あいにくだったな、ことみね。この程度でくたばれるんならよ。俺は英雄になんぞなってね。
Lancer, you're goated for that. You are amazing. Oh my god, I love you, Lancer. Wow. What a guy. He just pulled that off. Anyone can tell that the ironic voice is bluffing. Lancer has no vitality. He has no heart, and his body is about to disappear, and he still had the will to kill Kirei. Wow. The demonic lance is pulled out. The priest, having nothing to show for his departure, falls and dies. No matter how great his mastery of magic, or how powerful his divine protection, he is still a mere human. There's no way for him to be alive after being stabbed in his heart by the demonic lance.
たく、結局こうなったか、たけ。
The knight leans against the wall and tries to hold up his disappearing body, but it's only temporary. Lancer will disappear once he falls to the ground. He lost his heart and his master. He's still able to maintain his body because of his dirty survival tricks.
いいじゃんいいじゃん。バカどもは勝手に殺し合ってたよ。
Everything just keeps working out for Shinji, huh?
Shinji.
The girl, who was staring at the dead priest, is brought back to reality by the laughing voice.
何が聖杯は君のものだ。だよ。役立たずは最後まで役立たずだったな、神父さん。
Dang. He's the one who gave you a fighting chance, but okay. Mato Shinji kicks the priest's corpse. Wow. The dead man does not move. That must have pleased him, as the boy kicks the priest's head with all his might. A heavy smacking sound echoes in the room. The sensation and the sound excite Mato Shinji more than he expected.
けど文句は言わないでおくよ。さっきのことは根に持ってないし、死んじゃったやつにあれこれ言うのはみっともないしさ。
Shinji is so creepy, man. Him and Gilgamesh have gotta be the creepiest characters in the game. He laughs. The boy, whose sanity is almost gone, walks toward Tosaka Rin with staggering steps.
待たせたね、遠坂。いろいろ邪魔が入ったけど、これでようやく二人きりだ。残るサーバントもあと3人。ここで君が泣き疲れた頃には、全部型がついてるさ。
That is disgusting. Oh my god. Somebody please come save Tosaka. Please. He literally goes on all fours to get on top of Tosaka Rin like a lizard.
けどよかった。お前にはいろいろ用があったんだ。ほんと困るよ、遠坂。簡単に死なれちゃあさ。ここまで我慢してきた僕に申し訳がないってもんだろ。さあ、こびてみろよ、遠坂。お前の態度次第で助けてやらないこともないぜ。
This is horrifying.
それに、聖杯はもう僕のものだ。ここで僕のものになるって言うなら、お前にだって分けてやっても。
This is just awful.
呆れた。本当にバカじゃないの、あんた。
Then, even while she's tied up and being licked on her cheek by the boy, Tosaka Rin speaks up. Oh, that's disgusting.
なんだって？
まだ懲りないのかって言ってるのよ、シンジ。あんたは綺麗にいいように使われてただけでしょ。いい？あのサーバントは扱いきれるものじゃない。そんなこと近くにいるんだからあんただって分かってるでしょ。ならいい加減目を覚ましてこんな殺し合いから手を引けっていうの。
She's not wrong, but
今ならまだ間に合うのはそっちの方よ。死にたくなかったら1秒でも早くここから逃げ出しなさい。
何を言い出すかと思えば結局は命乞いじゃんか。バカはお前だよ、遠坂。目障りな琴峰は死んだんだぜ。今さら何が僕の邪魔をするって言うんだ。
your own servant. Mato Shinji runs his fingers along the girl's body. At that instant,
おい、
Mato Shinji is punched away once again.
おい。
That Lancer still? He's flung to the wall.
ガキが。そいつはてめえなんかが触れていい女じゃねえ。
It is indeed. Lancer, defending her again? Lancer glances at the boy and walks lazily to the girl.
何？死に損ないの分際で僕に意見しようっていうの？
Why wouldn't he? The spearman stops. He now turns to Mato Shinji.
おとなしく寝ていれば苦しまずに死ねたってのにな。さっきといい今度といい、お前楽には殺さないからな。
Alright, Lancer, no more talking. Just throw a guy ball and pierce his heart.
ほら出番だぜ、ギルガメッシュ。こいつカッコつけて死にたいんだってさ。
Yikes. He raises his voice. Mato Shinji's servant, the one who can kill any heroic spirit, is summoned by his master and...
おい、なんだよ。何やってんだよ、あいつ。
Yeah, wait, what is he doing?
聞こえないのか？早く来いって言ってるだろ。
His voice sheepishly echoes through the room. The golden servant does not appear. The spearman covered in blood takes another step towards the annoying boy.
くそなんだよお前。死に損ないのくせに何かっこつけてんだよ。消えろよ。目障りだってわかんないのかよ、この化け物。
The lance is thrust.
あ
The quick thrust pierces Mato Shinji through his right shoulder. His scream tears through the room. That's not his heart. Lancer pulls out the lance with an almost bored expression and points it at Mato Shinji's temple.
うせろ。死に損ないでもな。お前程度なら1000人殺したところで支障はない。
Gaining a lot of respect for Lancer. Is he gonna run away? Retreating to the wall and shivering, Mato Shinji runs away. Chicken.
たく。
Bro.
無駄な体力使わせやがって。
Letting out a big sigh, he walks over to the girl. The lance cuts away the girl's bonds like paper.
ありがとう。助かったわ、ランサー。
Yeah, like a lot. She thanks him as soon as she's freed. Unmindful of the dirt that covers her, she bows to Lancer.
ま、成り行きだからな。礼を言われる筋じゃねえ。
At that instant, he falls.
ランサー
That's it. She tries to catch him, but does not make it. Lancer, who is leaning against a wall, crumbles onto the ground. His legs won't move. Lancer's limbs are already dead. The fact that he still got up, killed his master, and freed her is unbelievable. Yeah, that took... After his heart was pierced. Like, that takes so much willpower. My respect for Lancer, up. Gushing blood stains his blue armor red.
待ってて、すぐに傷を塞ぐから。
And he's still not dead yet. Rin runs to the bloody spearman. The Lancer stops her by raising his hand.
無駄だ。俺のゲイボルクで破壊された心臓は簡単には治らん。大体な、そんな余分なマルカ残ってねえだろお前。
Yeah.
けど、
まあ気にするな。こういうのには慣れてる。英雄ってのはな、いつだって理不尽な命令で死ぬものなんだからよ。
Dang, man. It's not wrong, but just putting it out there like that. The fact that he's used to it. His casual talk is like always. The blue spearman does not change his tone, even on the verge of his death. The girl stands there speechless. Looking up at her, Lancer sighs as if the weight is lifted off his shoulders.
いや、お互いつまんねえ相棒を引いちまったな。
そうね。けど、私のはつまんないっていうより、扱いづらいだけだったかな。
違いない。お前のような女が相棒だったら言うことはなかったんだが、あいにく昔からいい女とは縁がなくてな。
Yeah, that's true.
まったく、こればっかりは何度繰り返しても治らねえみてえだ。
He laughs in self-derision.
さ
Then,
あ、早く行け。こいつは俺が連れて行く。お前はお前の相棒のところに戻らないと。
the spearman in blue urges the girl. Lancer is holding the Ansu's rune. The rune containing his remaining magical energy will burn this room to ashes. Understanding his determination, the girl turns her back to Lancer.
さよならランサー。短い間だったけど、私もあなたみたいな人は好きよ。
Dang, man. Lancer's determination is something else. She runs to the entrance hall.
小娘がもうちょっと年取って出直してこい。
He sounds happy. The room erupts in flames. The blaze burns Lancer's body and his master's corpse, without leaving a trace. The red lance and the blue armor disappear in the flames like empty illusions. Dang, that was a great interlude. I hate that that happened to Lancer. My respect for Lancer... Yeah, hold on. My respect for Lancer has gone up so much. He's one of he's become one of my favorite characters. He may not have like the backstory that a lot of characters have, but just in terms of how much I've enjoyed every moment of his screen time, like he's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna try to rank them all, but he's up there. Anyways, let's get back to this fight. The same swords, the same techniques clash. My attack and his attack are the same. But still, the blades chip away and my body is wounded the more we fight. The attack that I blocked breaks through. Concho on my left hand is destroyed by his Concho, and his weapon sweeps at me from the side. I twist my body to dodge it, but it still slashes me. Although not immediately fatal, the wound will eventually overcome me. I bear the pain by cursing and swing Baki at the close enemy. It's blocked and destroyed as well. We have the same swords and the same techniques, but there is a gap that I cannot fill.
お前の感想と俺の感想が同等とでも思ったか？お前はまだまだ基本骨子の想定が甘い。いかにイメージ通りの外見材質を保とうが、構造に利がなければ崩れるのは当然だ。イメージといえど、筋が通ってなければ瓦解する。
Yeah. He just needs more experience. My temple and my side. He attacks both my vital spots at once. I immediately project the twin swords and parry the attacks. My head hurts to the point of blurring my sight. It's not because of the strain of immediate projection. This is that headache. The instinct I felt when I was searching for Tosaka. The slight fever I get every time I faced him. That strain now threatens to drive me mad. I parry his attacks. I step in and slash at his body. The red headaches burn my eyes every time I do so. Is it because of the contradiction that Emiya Shirou and heroic spirit Emiya are existing at the same time? Ever since we recognize each other's identities, my body breaks every time we touch each other. I trace his sword technique, and even his reproduction ability. It's natural for them to suit me. His abilities are Emiya Shirou's optimal technique, perfected over many years of training. There's no way it would not suit me. In trying to match his skill, I allowed myself to learn too much about my future self. My eyeballs go numb. Every time I swing the sword, every time the sparks fly out, I'm attacked with a flash so strong that it could blind me. I am no match for him, and my vision fills with red every time we exchange blows. If that's the worst of it, I don't care. My body is already torn apart. My headache is nothing compared to the burning wound in my stomach. The problem is that the headache won't stop because there's something I'm still drawing out from him.
都合5本目だな。投影による複製ではそろそろ限界か。お前の魔力量はよくわかっている。そのざまでは残り3本。わざわざあれを見せてやったというのに、未だそんな勘違いをしているとはな。
His scornful voice contained some disappointment. Misunderstand? I don't care about that. More than anything, I have to do something about this headache right now. The thing flowing from you.
ともあれ、至ったところで不可能ではあるか。今のエミやシローが生成できる魔力では足りない。そう。どちらにせよ。
My headache gets worse. He raises his twin swords to finish the match.
貴様に賞賛など一部たりともなかったということだ。
He swings them down in a cross. The swords I blocked them with are destroyed. My body becomes numb as if a hammer has been smashed on it, and the headache finally sears my brain as well as my eyes. It's flowing into me. So, this is scarier than the pain. This is his memory. The reason he changed so much. I can see bits and pieces of what will happen to Emiya Shirou in the future. I don't know if it was correct or not. Nobody will be able to determine that. The beautiful things were ugly, and the ugly things were beautiful. There's nothing disgusting once you look at it objectively. So why is there such a deviation? Sophistry, falsehood, trickery, vanity. Those are what he saw the most.
I am the bone of my soul.
But still, it seems he did not care. There was an ideal and an oath he had to protect. He did not care what he lost to do so. Even when he was betrayed, he believed there would be a next time if he did not betray himself. He did not show grief or pain.
Steel is my body, and fire is my blood.
He's like a cold-blooded machine to others. He was a convenient existence, so he was conveniently used. He was only a tool in other people's eyes. But the machine had an ideal it wanted to protect, so it accepted its role as a convenient tool.
I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, and unknown to life.
It's not something to go around proclaiming. The more he kills and the more he is unable to save, the less he can talk about his ideal. The only thing left for him is to obstinately protect his ideal until the very end. And the result? The ideal Shirou dreamed of has never been accomplished. And he found out that it's just nonsense dreamed by a fool who is only a nuisance to others.
Hell withstood pain to create many weapons.
See, this is his end. See, this is your end. My mind gives in. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. But my mind almost gives in, thinking that I will be following this exact path.
Yet, those hands will never hold anything.
What you believed in, what you believe in, you're shown that it is just a fantasy that is covered with lies, and still. His weapon closes in. A horn-like sword comes to pierce my heart. I get away. I have in my hands the twin swords I quickly projected. I force down my nausea. What was I seeing? Forget it. Forget what you just saw. You need to defeat him. You should focus everything on that goal.
計算違いか。前世の自分を高齢、憑依させることで、かつての技術を習得する魔術があると聞くが、俺と打ち合うたびに、お前の技術は鍛えられていくようだな。
Yeah? Is there a chance then? My shoulders heaving, I prepare myself for his attack.
となると、引き出したものは投影技術だけではあるまい。
Yeah.
その顔、今にも吐きそうな最低の面構えからすると。
Yep, we sure did.
お前も見たな。
My breathing stops. Don't let me say it. Don't let me recall it. If you say what I just saw, I...
ならば話は早い。それは全て事実だ。エミヤしろ!
His red cloak moves. He closes in on me in an instant and thrusts the horned sword. It's destroyed in one blow. There's no way a hastily constructed sword, in a first attempt at that, would match his sword. But, even though I'm empty-handed, he throws away his sword. He projects Durandal, the renowned sword of the king. I skip about 4 steps and quickly reproduce his weapon. He's just matching him. But of course, such an imitation is destroyed in one blow. I fall. I'm repelled, and I land with my back on the rubble. That surprises me. The rubble turns red just by having me fall on top of it. Oh. I already know, but it seems that my body is almost dead. Outside and inside.
そこまでだ。叶わないと知ってなおここに現れる愚かさ。生涯くだらぬ理想にとらわれ、自らの意志を持たなかったまがい者。それが自身の正体だと理解したか。
Dang. Shiro's not just gonna ever accept that fact. His voice echoes. My body is covered with wounds. It's bad how the wounds are so deep that I can reach inside them and take out my bones. Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
そんなものに生きている価値はない。何よりこの俺が確信しているのだ。エミやシロウという男の人生に価値などない。ただ救いたいから救うなど、そもそも感情として間違えている。人間として故障したお前は、初めからあってはならない偽物だった。
Jeez. You're a fake that should have never existed as you're broken as a human being. That is brutal. My magical energy is almost depleted. Not only that, the magic circuit to run the magical energy is burned up. No. If I talk about it burning up, it burned up yesterday when I used projection. It's just that an almost broken thing completely broke. But my body is telling me I can still fight. My mind bluffs itself, saying that it has not given in. Then, I have to get up and defeat him.
無駄なことを。俺はお前の理想だ。叶うはずなどないと、今ので理解できたはずだが。
I feel like he's gotta have something, man. Or at least he'll try something. I focus the last of my will on the magic circuit. Is he gonna try the reality marble? That's all I can think. My split nerves scream. But I carefully put together the 8 steps. I project his twin swords, Kancho and Bakia, 2 great swords named after an ancient swordsmith. I swing them. I keep attacking until my remaining energy runs out. My twin swords are met by twin swords. Archer now holds Kancho and Bakia and parries my attacks without retreating.
そうか。認めるわけにはいかないのは道理だな。俺がお前の理想である限り、エミやシロウは誰よりも俺を否定しなければならない。
His calm tone pisses me off. I can't even breathe, but he is calm and composed. I attack with all my energy. He does not parry my attacks, but pushes them back. I'm pushed back along with my twin swords. The difference in our powers is obvious. There's no way for me to win with pure strength.
では聞くがな、シロウ。お前は本当に正義の味方になりたいと思っているのか？
I don't think anything has changed for him. For an instant, my mind blanks out from the surprise attack.
何を今さら俺はなりたいんじゃなくて絶対になるんだよ
There's no doubt in his mind. I glare back at him. Then,
絶対にならなければならない。なぜならそれはエミやシロウにとってただ一つの感情だからだ。逆らうことも否定することもできない感情。たとえそれが自身の内から現れたものでないとしても。
he stops me with words that grab my heart. Not born from within me. I deny them even before I think about what those words mean. I can't let him finish. I can't realize that fact. If I find out, Emiyashiro's foundation will crumble.
ほう。その様子では、うすうす感づいてはいたようだな。いや、初めから気づいていて、それを必死に遠ざけていただけだったのか。
Yeah.
今の俺では、思い出すことさえできないが。
Even throughout the route, once or twice, he kind of vaguely realized it and then immediately shut that thought down. I start to say before I stop myself, I don't want to know. I know that I shouldn't know, but still, I know that I must know. The contradiction of Emiya Shirou, the answer to what is wrong with me, and how I am distorted.
俺には、もはやお前の記憶などない。だが、それでもあの光景だけは覚えている。一面の炎と充満した死の匂い。絶望の中で助けを乞い、叶えられた時の感情。 エミやキリツグという男の俺を助け出した時に見せた安堵の顔を。
I realized that it is natural to die, and my mind emptied out. I was saved at that time. The man who saved me smiled with tears in his eyes. That's what I thought was beautiful.
そうだ。お前はただ一人助けられたことで、ただ、エミやキリツグに憧れただけだ。あの男の、お前を助けた顔があまりにも幸せそうだったから、自分もそうなりたいと思っただけ。
So he latched onto that as his purpose. That's right. It's not me that got saved at that time. It's an assumption I did not even think about. If that fire was Kiritsugu's fault, he shouldn't have been able to bear that fact. A tragedy without any survivors. Kiritsugu, the one who caused it, must have frantically searched for a survivor. And he finally found a survivor that should not have existed. The man found a surviving child that could not be saved. If you talk about miracles, it is. But I knew about that already. I don't care about his circumstances. It was enough for me that he got me out of that hell. Even if it may have been for himself, it's true that he tried to save me and wished for my survival. That's enough. Emiya Kiritsugu saved a boy who had nothing. So...
子が親に憧れるのは当然だ。だが、お前はそれが行き過ぎた。エミやキリツグがなりたかったものに憧れるだけならよかった。だが、最後に奴はお前に呪いを残した。言うまでもないだろう。それがお前の全てだと言ってもいい。
In passing on his wish, you know?
じいさんの夢は俺が。
Shirou saying those words. That's the answer. Hearing my casual remark, he left the words, I'm relieved, behind him. And then that man, who was emptier even than me, died. At that moment, Emiya Shirou had to become a superhero. My will does not matter. For his sake, I simply tried to become what he had admired since he was small. The wish for everyone to be happy. As an impossibility dreamed not by me, but by Emiya Kiritsugu.
気づいているのだろう、シロ。お前の理想はただの借り物だ。エミやキリツグという男がなりたかったもの、エミやキリツグが正しいと信じたものを真似ているだけに過ぎない。
He's not wrong in any way. Although I guess nobody is gonna know Shirou quite like Archer does. I grit my teeth, desperately trying to resist my mind that is about to give in. But
正義の味方だと笑わせるな。誰かのためになるとそう繰り返し続けたお前の思いは決して自ら生み出されたものではない。そんな男が他人の助けになるなどと思い上がりも甚だしい。
he attacks with his swords. With the weight of his contempt behind them, the twin swords are swung more strongly than ever before. Seeing those raging swords, I accept my own death, just as I did 10 years ago. Oh my god. The force comes smashing down. There's no elegance in those attacks. They are executed only using his strength. My left arm shakes from blocking the attack. My fingers that held onto the sword break. The sword I made using all my remaining power is bent back by one blow. I'm dead. I'm on the verge of death from the first blow, so there's no way I will be able to block the next attack. But still, my mind is about to give in, but my body denies it with all its might. It's telling me I'm wrong. It appeals to me, saying it's wrong to give in to his words, well, and swords, and to die here. I raise my head. My eyes aren't functioning. They don't see the enemy, but show his memories. In them, I see myself curling up and desperately trying to live. The echoing of the sword isn't all I hear. He curses himself every time he attacks.
そうだ。誰かを助けたいという願いが綺麗だったから憧れた。
I block the oncoming attack. Baki is destroyed. All I have left is Concho in my left hand.
故に自身からこぼれ落ちた気持ちなどない。これを偽善と言わず何という。
Concho is bent and its existence is fading. My heart is hurting. Not because of his attacks. His words slash in my heart.
この身は誰かのためにならなければならないと脅迫観念に突き動かされてきた。それが苦痛だと思うことも破綻していると気づく間もなく、ただ走り続けた。
It's honestly hard seeing Archer like this. Because I just seeing why he is the way that he is, right? And him just kind of like, I don't even know how to put words to it. Just seeing, like, realizing the pain he felt and I mean, frankly, a lot of it's like that same self-hatred that Shirou has now, amplified. Which makes sense. He keeps on denying himself. My heart tries to give up every time I hear him. My body wants to succumb to the force of his attacks. But still, that same body keeps desperately denying him.
だが、所詮は偽物だ。そんな偽善では何も救えない。いいな。もとより何を救うべきかも定まらない。
I'm smashed away. An attack as strong as one of Berserker's easily flings away Emiya Shirou's body. But I still hold my ground. I frantically endure the attack coming down at me. I will not be able to get back up if I fall down, so my body refuses to let me fall. I thrust the rapidly fading Concho into the ground and lean on it. My body sags forward, and I cannot even stand upright. I use Concho as a cane and hold up my falling body with my arms. I must look pitiful. I might look as if I'm kneeling down and begging him.
その理想は破綻している。自身より他人が大切だという考え、誰もが幸福であってほしい願いなど、空想のおとぎ話だ。そんな夢を抱いてしか生きられないのであれば、抱いたまま溺死しろ。
He says that. There's no value in living, no, in my life itself. My weapon is about to disappear, and there's little point in trying to keep my body from falling. In contrast, he isn't even scratched. The match is decided. No, the match had been decided from the start. There's no way for Emiya Shirou to beat heroic spirit Emiya. But that is a mistake. If the difference in our powers was large, the fight wouldn't have turned out like this. It is my mind that lost. My mind was weak because I realized that I am wrong, that he is right. That was my only failure. Because...
何?
Because my body has been telling me I will not lose to you. Why? Why did power enter my body every time he cursed my ideal as fake?
ふざけんな、コンチャー
I'll reach it. I'll definitely reach it. If parts of me are broken, I just need to use the parts that aren't. If everything I have is broken, then use the parts I don't have. My body hasn't lost yet. I can just reach out to the part of me that hasn't been used yet. a headache. An instant of a few milliseconds, I see him, probably for the last time. I cannot understand him, but I guess I can use his pain as a lesson. A hero who used a poem about himself as his spell. Even if I don't understand the meaning behind it. I'll accept those words in your place. Is he about to do it? Start the spell so that I can be proud of myself. Emiya's words hurt Emiya. He accepted the fact and chose to kill me. That's the only thing he could wish for in the end. Then, just as you deny me, I'll defeat you with all my powers. Oh snap. Is he actually doing it? Oh my god. I remember the words without realizing it. I raised my head. I poured determination into my dying body. This song. This is giving me chills. I swallow the blood clotting in my throat. Yang Sword Concho regains its image. Oh, he's scared now. But I kept on believing in it because I thought it was right. Kiritsugu pursued it because he knew it was an unattainable dream, an impossible ideal. Even if it may be unattainable, he believed that he would reach his destination if he kept running. Yes, sir, it is. I like this song. I don't know what the original version sounds like, but this version's pretty good. Pretty hype. I ready my sword. I don't care about that. Oh, okay. That's one of the hardest lines, honestly, in the game. The whole game he's been talking about how he can never lose to himself. And now he literally can't. Now he literally cannot lose to himself. I will keep on being Emiya Shirou. Dang, okay. I saw that. It is an unbelievable technique. His attacking body is on the verge of death. His fingers are broken, his limbs are slashed, and his breathing has stopped without him even realizing it. His speed is nothing, and his attack is mediocre. The boy that has absorbed his combat skills to the point where he's able to fight decently has now returned to fighting without them. An unskilled, frantic attack. But still, this blow is heavier than any that came before. Archer's indifference turns into surprise within a second. The swinging swords are crazy. They clash against his longsword with unimaginable speed. Where is his power coming from? The attacks are unlike before. He cannot go into defense. This attack should cut through the boy's neck. Realizing that he cannot make light of the boy, he swings his sword. Up and down, left and right. The 4 attacks are enough to cut off his limbs and to cut his body to pieces. Did he just parry all 4 of them? The boy blocks them. Okay, Shirou? No. Exceeding his 4 attacks, the swords come to slash his neck. Bringing back the longsword, he parries the attack. He intuitively understands that he will be killed unless he attacks. The longsword attacks the enemy that is on the verge of death, and the boy frantically swings his sword. Their swords crash in balance. The space is filled with sparks, and anything entering the space should be cut to pieces. But it should be the last spark that a dying man gives off. The boy loses his breath every time he attacks, almost falls, holds his ground, and attacks again. The sight reassures him. There's no power left in his enemy. The boy in front of him is literally on the verge of death. So why do those arms have seemingly infinite power? I have no consciousness. I can neither tell what the enemy's doing, nor if my attacks are doing anything. My muscles are screaming for oxygen, and the lack of blood keeps ordering my body to stop. I suppress them all together by force. That's all that's filling my head. My ideal is fake. He's right. I can't be a superhero. As long as I admire such a thing, I will end up like the man before me. But I felt beauty in it. I know it's just hypocrisy to value everyone else over yourself, but still, I admired it, thinking how great it would be if I could live that way. That's the only thing driving my dying body. This is an awesome sequence. This is that's underselling it. This is an amazing sequence. He cannot hear what his enemy is saying. His enemy's voice is weak, yet his attacks are relentless. Looking, the boy's hands are one with the sword's hilt. It must be to keep the sword in place, but that will transfer the impact directly to his body. The boy is covered in blood, and he will fall forward and die if he retreats. Even swinging the sword should come with great pain. He blocks it in annoyance. His dying enemy gets on his nerves, but he himself gets on his nerves, because even though he knows it will end once he retreats, he is not able to do so. Now he's holding on to his ideal, huh? But how can he retreat? Straightforward attacks without strategy. If it is a shame to turn his back to such attacks, it is also a disgrace not to block them. His enemy will self-destruct once he retreats, but he has a presentiment that he will lose something important if he does so. The worries will end soon. His enemy is at his limits. He will fall after 2 more blows, or 3 at most. He clucks his tongue at this stupid thought. He previously thought that his enemy would last 2 more blows, but he has received over 10 blows since then. The boy will not fall. He cannot hear the boy's voice. The dying boy frantically opposes the obstacle in front of him. That figure. He stares at the figure with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging the sword with arms that are about to tear off. The only thing I have left is this one thing I'm saying with all my might. My barrage of strikes are compensation for that scream. There were people that could not save others, and there was me who could not save them. I swore to myself never to let such a thing happen again, seeing the memories that meaninglessly disappeared. How long has it been since then? There were things I lost, and there were things I dropped. There are always things that will be forgotten, so I swore to myself never to forget this one fact. To become a superhero. I'll protect it even if it isn't my wish, or even if it is just sophistry to soften my guilt. It has to come true. The person who saved me died, leaving those words behind. I believe in the wish contained in those words. Even if everyone in this world disagrees with me, and even if I myself curse me, And so, he realizes that the attacks will not end. His enemy will not stop. He will not stop from his own will. The boy is attacking with all his might, but he's not looking at his opponent. The thing the boy is trying to defeat is his obstacle, his own self that is hindering himself. He's swinging his sword to enforce what he has believed in, what he will keep on believing in. Realizing that, the man grits his teeth in annoyance. The boy keeps challenging it, knowing that he won't win and that there's no meaning to it. That is the exact mistake he has detested. So why? Why does he want to see how long the boy can continue? He raises his longsword. His enemy's attacks are something he has to take seriously. He repels the attacks and crushes his enemy's skull for sure. A clanging sound. The fatal attack is easily deflected. The one who could not block his attacks until now repels a swing made with all his might. He gasps. He sees his enemy repel his sword and get back into stance. The boy's eyes are looking straight at... Oh man. The impact causes one of my arms and legs to break. My sense of pain hasn't been numbed. I use my fury to clamp down the pain that almost makes me wet my pants. He just broke an arm and a leg, and he's just gonna keep going like this. This is like the most raw determination I've ever seen. I don't have enough water. I can't release excess things. That's your reason to not wet your pants. The left side of the enemy's chest is open. Since half my body has broken, this will be my final blow. But such thoughts do not fill my head. The only thing in my head is... He pulls back his longsword to protect his open left side. He will make it. He will easily make it. This is my final blow. That's the only thing in my head. Even if Emiya Shirou is a fake, this is absolutely true. For everyone to be happy, that is an ideal everyone thinks of. So I won't back down, because this dream is the unwavering gaze, faults and lies, shaking off everything, running without stopping. Those words are driven into his chest. An attack made at full strength, defense that should have been fast enough. The cogwheels never got into gear, and the battle is decided quickly. He actually went and did it. Those words caused him to slow down. What it seems like to me. He hears the sound of the blade piercing him. The one surprised is the knight in red. His enemy attacked with determination to defeat him, and it is natural for his attack to do so. The boy does not need to be surprised, nor does he have anything to spare to be surprised. That is why the knight is the only one that is surprised. It is a great wonder how he cannot block an attack he could have easily blocked. I think it was Shirou's words. His pure determination, and that this isn't a mistake. Maybe it caused him to rethink things briefly. I support myself with my unbroken right leg. The sword in my hand has pierced Archer's chest.
Archer. Naze?
She watching all this time from that place? Still standing at the entrance, Saber questions Archer. Archer does not answer. He might not need to answer. Maybe he doesn't know the answer. My fingers throb. My broken fingers scream at me that they do not want to hold the sword anymore. The knight in red does not move. Even with a blade in his chest, a servant should be able to easily counterattack. But his hands are lowered and show no sign of moving. I know without being told what that means. I make the declaration while looking at him. The knight in red closes his eyes once and... He murmurs while looking off into the distance, as if to convince himself. Jeez, man. That raw determination. I don't know. I think it got to Archer. Yeah, I think he mentally lost in the end. That's all I can think of. Because, I mean, even Saber makes it clear that, like, if Archer wasn't mentally defeated, she could have physically defeated Shirou, even with that blade in his chest. I pull out the sword. The projected weapon disperses as soon as it touches outside air. The tension floods out of me, and I finally take notice of my condition. It's terrible. The slashed wounds are healing, but lots of places are turning dark red. Archer said something about Saber's sheath. What's that power putting priority on? It heals the torn flesh at once, but it seems to be putting off the broken bones until later. Then, I hear loud footsteps from the west side, the hallway that Lancer disappeared into. Someone's coming. She appears in the terrace and jumps down without hesitation. And she moans in pain at her landing.
Shirou, 無事?
No, but we won.
あーちゃん、あんたその傷どうしちゃったのよ。
She follows her sudden arrival with a torrent of questions. Seems Lancer saved Tosaka as he promised, but Tosaka's energy takes the power out of me. Does she want to check on my safety, or is she angry about Archer's wound?
まったく、つくづく甘い。
He mentally lost.
彼女がもう少し非道な人間なら、私もかつての自分になど戻らなかったもの。
Man. So what? The way I see it right now, because of Tosaka, right? Maybe he kind of realized that, well, I don't want to say that he realized that humanity isn't like awful, right? But maybe he put like that doubt in his head. And if she'd been more cruel, he never would have returned to the state where he could have mentally lost against Shirou. I don't know. That's how I'm seeing it right now, based on that part. He talks sarcastically, but his voice only contains warmth. After looking at Tosaka once, the knight in red steps back as if to exit the stage.
ともあれ、決着はついた。お前を認めてしまった以上、エミヤなどという英雄はここにはいられん。敗者は早々に立ち去るとしよう。
Like I said, that raw determination and his unwavering belief that it isn't wrong, you know? What were his exact words? It isn't a mistake. His unwavering belief that it isn't a mistake, even if the idea never came from him, even if it is, you know, hypocrisy, you know, his dream. Even if all of that's true, it isn't a mistake. And, you know, eventually that got to Archer. And I guess Archer's just gonna leave now. You know how cool it would be if Shirou made Archer his servant? But that's probably not gonna happen. Without saying goodbye to Tosaka, huh? His wound is deep and he has no master. He will disappear here and he will return to the original place as a heroic spirit. It happens in an instant. It is a fatal attack that takes the opening in me, as I relax after seeing Tosaka. Several swords are called forth. The rain of swords comes down to pierce Emiya Shirou's body, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a different Emiya Shirou. Or is our Shirou just dead? Is he toast? I fall. Oh no. I'm pushed back and I fall on my butt. I'm pushed back about a meter. In front of me. Nope, he annihilated himself. Why did it have to end like this? My broken limbs cannot support my body, and I do not have the power to get back up. And so, I can only look up at myself that got skewered in front of me.
Nanimono!
Saber's scream cuts open the silence. Wait, was that Gilgamesh? Was that Gilgamesh? I assumed it was Archer. She's looking at the second floor, on top of the crumbled stairs.
楽しませてもらったぞ。偽物同士。実にくだらない戦いだった。
貴様、アーチャー。
10年ぶりだな、セイバー。お前とはもう少し早く顔合わせをする気であったが、予定が変わった。予想外の事故ばかり起きてな。俺の思惑とはずれてきてしまった。
Oh lord. I don't know what we're gonna do about Gilgamesh here. Is Saber enough? I guess we gotta hope that Shirou learned enough from Archer to somehow be useful. Or that Archer somehow isn't going to die. Servant Gilgamesh, the one to defeat Berserker, and the one who killed Iliasfeel. He turns aside Saber's glare and looks down at me in the skewered Archer.
さて、理解したか？それが本物の重みというものだ。
That's what he meant.
いかに形を似せ力を似せようが、所詮は作り物。本物の輝きには及ばない。
He raises his hand. It's as if he is ordering his soldiers.
偽物が作り上げた贋作など見るのも汚らわしい。クズめ。貴様らのうちには何一つ新作が存在せぬ。他人の真似事だけで出来上がった偽物は即ゴミになるがいい。
He shoots numerous noble phantasms. The unavoidable rain pours down. There are about 30 of them. I couldn't dodge or block them even if I was in perfect condition. Clouds of dust spring up. The shower of swords tears apart the already ruined hall. But even in the midst of the chaos, I see it. The red cloak flies. Still skewered, he runs to me and pushes me once again. I'm pushed away from the red figure. His eyes are telling me, you defeat him. That as long as I defeated Archer, and as long as I want to become a superhero, I must defeat him. The cloud of dust fills my vision. The red cloak sinks inside the rubble. But I see it before he disappears. His eyes are filled with confidence. That servant is no match for us, Emiya Shirou. Neither Saber nor Tosaka will be the one to defeat him. My own self is telling me that Emiya Shirou is the natural enemy of that servant. Oh man. Archer, he approves of us now. And he's saying, if that's your dream, if it isn't a mistake, like if that's what you want, you have to defeat him. God dang, man. My vision clears up. Dust is in the air, and the rubble is piled up high. There's nothing else. The knight in red disappeared underneath the rubble.
ほう、驚いたぞアーチャー。あの傷で他人を救う余裕があったとはな。
His sarcastic words contained some scorn. The man smiles in satisfaction as he looks down at the hall filled with Archer's blood. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the most powerful being here. Anyone that moves will follow Archer's fate. Even Saber is silent, wondering how best to attack the enemy. But...
この誰に断って私のアーチャーに手を出してんのよ。
With Archer's death, Tosaka has lost her composure. Light runs across space. Pure destructive force, magical energy released from the jewel without any processing. He does not even dodge it. He isn't even scratched.
死に損ないを先にするつもりだったのだが、順序が変わったな、女。
He orders the swords behind him to carry out Tosaka's execution. The sword is released at high velocity. Saber runs with surpassing speed and protects her master.
セイバー。
リン、下がって。あの男は危険だ。手を出せば殺されます。
That he will.
ほう。今のマスターはその小娘か。よかろう。ならば今の無礼は不問に付す。お前を失っては楽しみが減るからな。
You guys are so creepy. Saber glares at the enemy while readying her invisible sword.
なぜここにいるアーチャー。近江は前回の聖杯戦争で呼ばれたサーバント。そのあなたがなぜ今回も限界している。
He never left.
なぜも何もあるまい。前回の戦いが終わった後、我は消えずにこの世に留まっただけだが。
そんなバカな。サーバントは聖杯が消えた時点でこの世との接点をなくすはずだ。ならばあなたが10年もの間とどまっていられるはずがない。
Oh man, once Shirou figures out how he stayed, oh man, that's it.
そうでもないぞ。もとよりこの世との接点は聖杯ではなくよりしろとなったマスターだ。聖杯はあくまで道を通したに過ぎん。聖杯が消えた後も魔術師が魔力を提供し続ければこの世にはとどまれる。もっとも聖杯の助力なしでサーバントを維持できるマスターなどそうはいないがな。その点で言えば俺のよりしろは魔力不足ではあった。
ならばどちらにせよあなたがとどまれるはずがない。サーバントを持つことにマスターが耐えられないならあなたは召喚者ともども枯渇しているはずだ。
He got that magical energy in other ways.
それもやりようであろう。魔術回路が少なければ知識で補うのが魔術師という輩だ。その点で言えば俺のマスターはなかなかに筋金の入った男だった。
Was? And his master is gone now. No, his master is Shinji. The fact that he, the man who would not obey anyone, obeyed Shinji is the proof of that.
ではあなたのマスターはライダーのマスターと同じように。
ああ、事故で補えなければ他人から奪うのは当然だろう。だが実を言えばそのような手間もいらなかったのだがな。俺は聖杯を浴びた唯一のサーバントだ。この時代における受肉など10年前に済ませている。
He didn't even need to do it. Saber stares at the man in astonishment. Saber hangs her head at the words 10 years ago.
そう、お前のおかげだぞ、セイバー。あれが何であるか我は誰よりも熟知している。何しろその心欲をぶちまけられ中にあるものを見たのだからな。
では
ああ、聖杯の正体を理解したのだ。その時に決めた。あれは俺だけが扱うとな。
Does he just mean like the evil within it? Or is there more that we don't know? Saber. No, looking down at all of us, he declares something that is unbefitting for a servant.
聖杯をあなたが使うだと。
そうだ。マスターなどという寄生動物に分け与えてやる義理もあるまい。俺は俺の目的のために聖杯を使おう。その最大の障害であった召喚者も先ほど消えた。残ったものはよりしろにもならぬ魔術師もどきだけだ。俺の望みにはそのなり損ないこそがふさわしい。もっともお前の肉ならばあるいは完全な聖杯が出来上がるやもしれんが、さて。
The man looks at Tosaka. Tosaka must feel the danger as she grows pale and steps back. His red eyes are ominous. One would feel uncomfortable under the weight of that gaze. His eyes are so aberrant that even Tosaka is frightened of them.
バカな。聖杯はマスターが得るものだ。我らサーバントでは得られないからこそマスターに協力するのだろう。
それこそがおかしな話だ。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけでありながら聖杯を得られるのはマスターだけだというのか。
I mean, that's a good point.
しかしそれは
全てはくだらぬざれ言だ。
He's not wrong in that regard.
7人のマスターによる聖杯の奪い合い、最後の一人となったマスターのみが聖杯を得る儀式だと。そんなものはただの隠れ蓑に過ぎん。もとより聖杯の恒例など済んでいる。連中は毎回聖杯を用意してから7人のサーバントを呼ぶ。わかるか騎士よ。連中が必要としたのは聖杯ではなくその中に入るものだ。
He's not wrong.
マスターなど元は我らを呼ぶためだけの回路に過ぎん。魔術師どもはな、聖杯を作りはしたが、その中身を用意できなかった。
Dang.
先ほども言っただろ。事故で補えないのなら、よそから奪ってくるのが奴らだと。聖杯を満たす最高純度の魔力。守護者とも言える霊長最強の魂こそが、奴らが求めたものだ。7人のサーバントとはな、もともと聖杯にくべられる生贄のことらしいぞ。
That makes a lot of sense. Saber looks up at the man in astonishment. Her eyes are desperately trying to deny his words. That it isn't possible. She's trying to deny it, saying that what she'd wished for, the Holy Grail, cannot be such a thing.
驚くことはあるまい。聖杯は魂という本人でなければ制御できぬ力を純粋な魔力に返すろ過器だ。ああ、確かにそれならば願いは叶おう。魔術師どもにとっては永遠に使い切れぬ魔力量だろうからな。故に生贄は多ければ多いほどよい。6人ものサーバントをくべれば、それは万能と言えるだろう。聖杯が汲み取ったサーバントは5人。奴らが目指した万能の釜まではあと1人分で十分だ。
Aren't we at 6? Dead, 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 dead. Probably? Yeah, I'd say dead. I mean, there's no way, like, unless he doesn't count for some reason. Dead. That's 6. That's all 6.
それではやはり聖杯はマスターにしか扱えない。聖杯が純粋な魔力の貯蔵庫だというのなら、扱えるのは魔術師だけだ。そうだ。持ち主となるマスターさえ優れた術者ならきっと。
あらゆる願いを叶えられるか？たわけ。人間風情にそのような奇跡は与えられん。どれほど強大な力を持とうと自滅するのが人間というものだ。
He is really just speaking facts right now, honestly.
だが安心しろセイバ
ー。That doesn't make him a good person, though.
この聖杯は本物だ。きちんと7人分の英霊を組み込めば必ず原初に到達する。
原初？ちょっと待った。じゃあ聖杯ってまさか。
何者かは知らんが、最初にこのルールを敷いた者は間違いなく神域の天才だろうよ。まあしかし俺には関係のない話ではある。俺はそんなものに興味はない。あるのは聖杯の門としての能力だけだ。
What is she referring to? Like, and what does he mean by the origin?
聖杯が門だと。
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
10年前だセイバー。あと一歩で聖杯を手に入れるという時、俺はお前に阻まれた。聖杯は聖剣によって両断され、こぼれ落ちたものは炎となって町を焼き払った。聖杯の真下にいた俺は当然その本流を一身に浴びたのだ。その時に聖杯の正体を知った。実にくだらぬが使い道はある。数ある兵器の中でもあれほど殺人に特化したものはあるまい。あれはあのままでいい。万能の釜になどする必要はない。
There's the Gilgamesh we know.
兵器。聖杯がサーバントを持って生み出すものが兵器だというのか。
Although that's not inaccurate either.
もともと我らとて兵器だろう。あれはそれを突き詰めたものに過ぎん。聖杯とは地獄の門。一度開けば中からは56億もの呪いが溢れ出す。 琴峰は言っていなかったか？聖杯の名はアンリ・マユ。
All evils of the world.
その名の通り、すべての人間を食いつぶす終わりの泥だと。
Yeah, we know that firsthand. I'll remind you. I think that's the nickname of the devil in Zoroastrianism. Oh. I see. That would make sense. The leader of evil that opposes God for many thousands of years. It is an embodiment of the evil in all human. And it is depicted as a reflected image of all humanity's goodwill. Yeah, that's a pretty good description of it then. But why is the Holy Grail named after the ancient Persian devil?
では、あなたの目的は
He probably intends to unleash it.
そう言いそうだ。俺は琴峰のように人間をめでようと努める気はない。この世界は楽しいがな。同様にどしがたい。凡白の雑種が生を謳歌するなど、王に対する冒涜だ。
Just gonna wipe them all away?
それでは収める気にもなれん。
バカじゃないのあんた。何が王に対する冒涜よ。人間が一人もいなくなったらそれこそ王様の意味なんてないじゃない。
死に絶えるのならばそれでよい。自らの罪で消え去るのなら生きる価値などはあるまい。俺が欲しいものは雑種ではない。地獄の中ですら生き延びられる者にこそ支配される価値がある。
Jeez.
その点で言えば前回のは落第だったな。あの程度の火で死に絶えるなど今の人間は弱すぎる。
Oh, well, good thing the one survivor is right here. Put him up. We're gonna box now. He grins. For the first time, he looks at me, who he said is a failure.
この世すべての悪とやらが何者であるかは知らん。
Oh, and he totally knows that Shirou's the only survivor, huh?
だが都合が良いだろ。すべての人間に等しく落ちる死の戸が。人より生まれた人だけを殺す底なしの闇。本来俺がすべき仕事を任せるにはふさわしい猟犬だ。
Gilgamesh raises his hand. Behind him are noble phantasms waiting for the king's order.
では、10年前の続きといこう。あの時はくだらぬゴミが混ざったが、こたびはあのようなゴミはおらん。
Boring piece of trash. God dang.
もっとも、それ以上にタチが悪いクズが混ざっているようだが。
The swords are all pointed at me. I will my broken legs to stand, but they do not move. Damn, I can't even manage to block one of those. So why did Archer leave behind that message? The swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly lowers his arm. After looking up at the ceiling in discomfort, he brushes away the dust on his shoulder.
すすで汚れる。命拾いしたな、小僧。
He's just gonna leave because of the fire. The castle is burning. I don't know who set the fire, but it must be huge. The third floor is burning down, and the second floor has caught as well. No, that's not the surprising thing. He really stopped the battle just because he was going to get dirty from the ashes.
逃げるのですか、アーチャー。
This dude is something else.
場所を変えるだけだ、セイバー。聖杯は俺の手にある。ことは迅速に済ますのが俺の方針だからな。早々に聖杯を作り、地獄の穴を開けてやろ
う。His golden hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks to the terrace that isn't yet burning.
取り戻したければ早めにしろ。何しろ今回の聖杯は急増の欠陥品だ。急がなければ中身がすべてこぼれてしまうぞ。
His stifled laughter echoes through the room, and he leaves the burning castle like that. Sparks are dancing through the room, and the ceiling is tinted red. The gorgeous castle shows no traces of what it used to be. The castle without a master crumbles without a trace, as if to follow the girl in white. Interlude. What? Oh, Shinji. Good point. He exists. Mato Shinji is running through the forest with beast-like breath. He's actually running along a selected route, but his mentality is that of a wanderer. He's running away without aim, so the word wandering is more befitting. He pushes the branches aside with one hand and runs while scattering wet dirt. Leaving a trail of blood behind him, Mato Shinji heads to the edge of the forest. He has not treated the wound he received from Lancer. He does not feel his right arm anymore. The wound is inflamed, and his arm will not move, as though dead. He must not be able to run with only one arm, as he slips and leans against a tree. His dangling right arm is like a piece of trash. As soon as he realizes that part of his body is a useless piece of trash, Mato Shinji starts laughing. The laughter comes out like a racking cough. It hurts. It must be because of the wound that his body is burning hot. In a daze, he imagines his wounded arm rotting away. After that, he imagines everyone around him rotting away. Not just one of their arms. He has one arm. All the other idiots should lose both of their arms. He can't stop laughing. With that decision made, the pain becomes bearable. He has a legitimate purpose now. The first thing he would do is collect every possible arm. There will be no exceptions. He has lost all sense of sanity. The girl that did not become his. Since she is his favorite, he cannot allow her to be superior to him. You are so creepy. Laughing, Mato Shinji raises his head. When did he appear? His servant is standing right in front of him. He looks at his servant in surprise. The golden servant looks down at Mato Shinji as if looking at livestock. Yeah? And he says something that he does not mean. Mato Shinji's face contorts. Without realizing the true intention of his servant, he glares at the man before him. Yeah, you're about to die. With his head on fire, Mato Shinji insults his servant. The golden servant nods, saying this will do. Yep.
ああ、そうだよ。お前がグズだから遠坂を逃がしちまったんだ。あんな死に損ないに取られるなんて思い出しただけで吐き気がする。
そうか、それは残念だ。
何落ち着き払ってんだよ。遠坂がいなけりゃ聖杯が手に入らないんだろ。さあ、お前のせいで全部台無しだ。分かってんのかよ。これからどうすれば。
安心しろ。予定に狂いはない。聖杯は作り出せる。
Is he gonna like use Shinji or something? The servant's voice contains no emotion. Mato Shinji does not realize that the red eyes aren't looking at him.
どうやって？いくら聖杯があってもその器がないとできないって琴峰も言ってたじゃないか。あのガキの心臓だけじゃ意味がない。あれは優れた魔術回路につなげないと聖杯にならないんだろ。
Mato Shinji walks up to his servant and scolds him for his stupidity. The golden servant nods and...
だから問題ない。より代になるマスターならここにもう一人いるじゃないか。
Yikes. He thrusts his arm. A piercing sound. Mato Shinji never finds out what the sound is. But he feels something funny in his stomach. Looking down, he sees his servant's arm there. The fist is inside his body. There's neither pain nor blood. The servant's arm is in his body, like the absurd spiritual operation he saw before.
聖杯が欲しいのだろう。ならばくれてやろう。大事なものなら二度と手放すな。
His blood vessels expand. After feeling the sensation of billions of worms squirming through his body and trying to get out, he becomes something that is not Mato Shinji. Oh my god, that voice acting. It convulses. What is that? The swollen object is literally a lump of meat. There is no shape to it. It is composed of exposed meat and blood vessels, quickly forming meat and quickly decaying meat. Unable to bear the pain of the repeating growth and decay and the sensation of something wriggling inside of him, he loses his sanity. After watching it, the servant lets him go as if nothing has happened.
醜いな。力ある魔術師ならば変貌することもないだろうが。まあ、仕方があるまい。
A chain comes down. Descending from the sky, heaven's chains bind the writhing mass of flesh. The balance of expansion and decay is about the same right now, but the Holy Grail should figure out its master soon enough. Expansion should overwhelm the decay by then. His Holy Grail should be completed in no time.
ゲテモノの方が味は良い。何より、お前ならばふさわしい泥を吐き出すだろう、シンジ。
Yeah. The servant laughs. And beside him, the piece of meat repeats, "Help me," in a voice that is no longer human. Jesus. That is brutal. We'll go a little further, even if I probably shouldn't.
シロ、傷はもう痛まないのですか?
You'll at least try to get to the end of the night, or if we try to leave or end up in a battle, we'll end it there.
そっちの方は問題ない。至って健康だし、中身だってまだ使える。
You are so unbelievably lucky that you have the sheath of saber.
そうですか。それならいいのですが。
Apparently having run out of things to talk about, Saber awkwardly ends the conversation. We've been like this for an hour since we came home. We don't have the composure to be celebrating Tosaka's safety, nor did we celebrate our reunion. The situation isn't good at all. The last servant, Gilgamesh. As long as he has the Holy Grail, we have to fight him. We don't have any plans to beat him. The more we think about it, the more we realize it's hopeless. It's only natural for us to grow quiet. But I don't think that's the only reason we're quiet. This is probably the end. This will be the last time we will go out into battle like this. No matter what the results may be, what awaits us does not change. The Holy Grail War will end. After that, 3 of us won't be able to talk like this. Looking back, it was only a course of about 10 days. I never had time to think about what happened the day before, and I was too busy with all the events that came up one after another. But they weren't just painful events. Looking back at it, these past 10 days are precious memories that can't be replaced. That's why we're keeping our mouths shut. We don't want to admit the obvious truth. The decision should be clear to all of us already. We can't say it because we don't want it to end like this. We don't want to end it like this.
じゃあ私から言うけど、
Somebody has to.
私はアーチャーの仇を討つ。裏切られたし、ひどいやつだったけど、あいつはシローだったから。
Tosaka has made up her mind. She says that she will fight Gilgamesh. She clearly states that she will end this fight.
シローはセイバーにはどうしたって付き合ってもらうけど、マスターじゃないあなたには無理強いできない。
This is personal.
あの金ピカ、シローを目の敵にしてるみたいだし、戦うのなら真っ先に狙われると思うけど。
After Archer's words to us, there's no way that we'd say no. Maybe Tosaka's trying to be considerate by offering me an escape, but I'm already determined. I can't let Gilgamesh be. I intuitively know that the Holy Grail shouldn't exist. But there's a bigger reason for me to not back out of this. You defeat him. He left those words and let me survive instead of him. The man who only denied Emiya Shirou. As I have made him admit his defeat, my path is determined.
奴を倒す。自分で戦うと決めたんだ。最後までそれを守らなくちゃ。あいつになんて文句を言われるかわからないだろう。
そう。あなたがそう決めたのなら止めないわよ。
ああ、頼む。それに、聖杯は放っておけない。聖杯が奴の言う通りのものだとしたら、そんなものは壊した方がいい。今度こそ完全に。こんなことを二度と繰り返さないようにだ。
That's the determination you need. Saber's fought with the objective of obtaining the Holy Grail. Her hesitation and reluctance aren't easily overcome, but still.
承知しています。聖杯がギルガメッシュの言う通りのものならば、それはこの世にあってはならないものです。
She kills her wish in a sense.
よし。
I get up and head to the kitchen. I put on the apron. I tie it behind my back and roll up my sleeves.
シロ、何かいいアイデアでも思いついたの？
Yo, we gotta eat something before we go.
ね。いや、飯作ろうと思って。二人とも腹減ってるだろ。
At least one more meal with him. I ignore the astonished party and start preparing dinner.
話は決まったんだ。なら、あとはいつも通りにしよう。3人で夕食をとって、その後で奴を倒しに行けばいい。
I take out a bowl and a frying pan. I use everything I have in the refrigerator. I'll forget about everything tonight. I'll make a delicious feast.
ええ、そうですね。いつも通り夕食を迎えましょう。私たちにはその方が合っている。
One last day where we get to be normal.
そうね。じゃあ私も手伝おっかな。セイバーはお風呂沸かしてきて。
The serious atmosphere disappears like that. The living room suddenly becomes more lively. This will be the last night with the three of us. We're doing our best to keep it like always and to have a good dinner. It's for the best. So, after eating dinner consisting of Western, Chinese, and Japanese food, we start the customary strategy meeting.
では、リンは竜道寺に聖杯があると。
ええ。前から今回の恒例場所は竜道寺だと睨んでたのよ。キャスター対策で監視役の使い魔を放ってたんだけど、それもついさっき潰れたし。あの金ピカ、竜道寺に陣取ってると見て間違いないわ。
Yeah, almost certainly.
竜道寺ですか。厄介ですね。あの山には山門からでしか侵入できない。当然ギルガメッシュも山門で待ち構えているでしょう。
Definitely.
そうね。けど逆に言えば位置が特定できて助かるわ。あいつも厄介だけど、聖杯の召喚を止める方が先決だもの。セイバーにはあいつの足止めをしてもらって、その隙に私たちで聖杯を壊す。
That would definitely be ideal.
理想でしょうね。
That would be ideal, but I have a feeling that won't be the case. I feel like Shirou's probably gonna have to somehow defeat him. My guess is that it will come down to Shirou using the reality marble spell. I have a feeling that's what'll happen.
また、聖杯を壊すって、それはセイバーじゃないとできないんじゃないのか。俺たちじゃ聖杯には触れないんだろう。
そうね。私たちに呼び出された聖杯を壊すことはできない。けど、その前に聖杯の器を壊すことはできる。
Rip Shinji.
正確には聖杯が発動する前に停止させるってことだけど。
But if you're too late, then it has to be Saber.
聖杯を停止させるってどういう意味だ？
あんまり考えたくないんだけど、今までの話を総合すると聖杯はイリアスフィールの心臓でしょ。
Yep.
けど聖杯っていうのはイリアスフィールの体、魔術回路とセットだと思う。あいつはイリアスフィールが聖杯になることを嫌がって核となる機関だけを引き抜いた。
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
とすると聖杯として機能させるためにはもう一度魔術師の体に埋め込まないといけない。残ったマスターは私とあと一人だけ。私がここにいる以上、あいつが聖杯基盤に選ぶのは
His own master, Shinji.
シンジってことか。けどシンジには
魔術回路がないって言うんでしょ。きっとそんなの構わないのよ、あいつは。不完全な聖杯を作りたがってるんだから、不完全なマスターに埋め込むでしょうね。
Fair enough.
血が絶えたって言っても魔党の血族には遺伝的に魔術回路の跡があるし、イリアスフィールの心臓なんてそんな核融合炉をつけられたら閉じてた回路だって力ずくで開かれるわ。
And that would mean we'll have to detach the Holy Grail from Shinji, huh? I don't know what it means to be the Holy Grail's foundation, but if possible, we'll have to stop it.
ですが、それをギルガメッシュが許すとは思えない。
Oh, definitely not.
聖杯を止めるということはギルガメッシュを倒すということではないのですか。
Yes, I'd say so.
そうだな。あいつが聖杯を守っているのは明白なんだから、まずあいつをどうにかしないと話にならない。
そうね。けどあいつ三門で私たちを待ち受けてると思うのよ。私たちの最大の戦力であるセイバーが三門からしか入れない以上、それ以外の突入経路はないんだもの。だから。
なるほど。私は単身で山門から突入する。リンとシローはその隙に裏から竜道寺に侵入するのですね。マスターである二人なら竜道寺の結界も意味はない。
そういうこと。セイバーには頑張ってもらうしかないんだけど、とにかくあいつの足止めをして、私たちも聖杯を止め次第すぐに駆けつけるから。
Yeah, I don't think the plan's gonna get much better than that, really.
またそれは無茶だ。セイバーじゃあいつにはかなわない。足止めなんてできないぞ、きっと。
Disrespectful, even if it's true.
何よ、やけにあいつの肩を持つわね、シロ。
全くです。確かに彼は強敵だが、それでも防戦に徹すれば私とて簡単には敗れません。
It's a major disrespect, even if it's probably true.
その根拠を言ってください、シロ。
いや、そういう意味じゃないんだ。俺が見た限りあいつよりセイバーの方が強い。
In like pure combat.
これは絶対だ。かけてもいい。
ではなぜそのようなことを言うのです。
だから英霊である限りあいつには勝てないんだ。
Because he'll always have the whatever was able to defeat you.
そうだな。もしあいつがセイバーと同じ宝具しか持ってないのなら、セイバーはまず負けない。剣士としての能力は比べるまでもないんだから。けどあいつの強さはそういう個人としての強さじゃないんだ。どんなに優れた兵士でも戦争そのものには勝てないだろ。あいつはそういう類の英霊だ。対抗するには同じ戦争じゃないと飲み込まれる。
Yeah, I suppose. That's a strange analogy at first, but yeah, I guess that works.
つまりシロは私と彼とでは相性が悪いと言っているのですね。
はい、そういうこと。だから登坂、何の策もなしでセイバーとあいつは戦わせられない。せめて突破口ぐらいないと勝ち目がないんだ。
Get back the sheath.
そんなこと言われなくても分かってるわよ。だから今からそれを考えようって言ってるんじゃない。
ではリンには策があるのですね。
あのね、そう都合よく思いつくはずないでしょ。シローの言った通り、あいつの宝具は戦争だもの。戦争っていうのは戦力をどれだけ整えたかで勝敗が決まるものでしょ。いかに上手に兵器を扱えるかじゃなくて、どれだけ相手と同じ戦力を。
You realize something.
なんだよ、遠坂。いきなり黙り込んで。
Because Shiro's the one that can produce more force.
そっか。だから目の敵にしてたんだ。そうよね。自分の宝具を持たない英霊なら原点になる武器さえ存在しない。待てよ。それってつまり。
That Shiro's better suited for fighting him.
リン、どうしたのです？いきなり私の背後に回って。
She's hiding behind Saber.
なんでもない。ちょっと考え事するから二人で勝手に会議してて。
What? Are you gonna go hide? Saber and I look at each other. Well, I'll leave her alone if she has an idea.
では、そうなるとアーチャーとの一騎打ちは避けた方がいいということですね。ですが、私とてリンのバックアップがある。彼女からの供給があれば、封印していた私の宝具も問題なく使用できます。
Which one?
それなら。
セイバーの宝具？それって風王結界じゃなくて？
はい。風王結界は鞘に過ぎません。リンの許しがあれば、私は自らの聖剣を使用できます。前回聖杯を破壊したのもその件です。
そうか。じゃあそのあたりは遠坂次第ってことか。
そうですね。聖剣を使用すれば私だけでなくリンにも大きな負担がかかります。
だってさ、遠坂、お前の魔力量どのくらい余裕があるんだ？
Yeah, that's not what Tosaka's thinking at all right now.
魔力量って。なんで私の考えてることわかるのよ、あんた。
What? Is it? Never mind.
なんでもない。私のことは放っておけって言ったでしょ。セイバーの宝具のことならちゃんとわかってるわ。言っとくけど、私とセイバーじゃ撃てて2回よ。1回は聖杯に使うんだから、ギルガメッシュとの戦いに使うって言うなら1回だけだからね。
セイバー、遠坂はそう言ってるけど、どうだ？
Is that enough?
わかりません。アーチャーがあらゆる宝具を持つというのなら、私の宝具と拮抗するものも所有しているでしょう。
Probably Archer's, given that he has all of them.
あとはどちらの宝具が優れているかという戦いになる。
そうか。結局、宝具の競い合いになるのは否めないのか。
Then Gilgamesh is likely to win. Can't let Saber fight such a hopeless battle. Man, I can't think. She's been acting strange. Why does she keep on looking at me like that?
はい、遠坂。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。アイデアあるんだろ？
She definitely does.
ないわよ。こんなところで言えるわけないでしょ、バカ。
What? She yells at me and looks away awkwardly.
シロ。
いや、なんでもない。あいつは変なんで、ほっといて話を進めよう。
So let's ignore her. We continue with the strategy meeting with just the two of us. That is our brain. Tosaka won't talk. We can't come up with anything.
ないんならさっきの案でいいでしょ。結婚は夜明け前だから、それまで各自自分の部屋で十分に休みを取っておくように。
Or we can go with whatever your plan is. That you're just not saying. Our course of action is decided by Tosaka. Some time passed after that. It's almost midnight. Tosaka told me I should take a nap. I can't sleep in a situation like this. We're going to settle our score with that servant in a few hours. Since we're heading out before dawn, everything should be over by the time the sun rises. Can't just lay here and not do anything. Okay. Go over, over strategy with Tosaka, think, or dojo with Saber. So it said, right? Let's go over strategy with Tosaka.
そうだな。こんな状況で眠ってられるか。
Because I feel like she's hiding something. A plan against Gilgamesh. If we are to fight that cold-hearted enemy, I'll have to come up with some plan. Someone will die if we head to the Ryoto Temple as we are now. Compared to that, thinking until the very last minute is nothing.
登坂、起きてるか？
I knock on her door.
ちょっと待った、絶対入るな。
Okay. I thought Osaka would be sleeping, but I guess she's still awake. More importantly, she's in a panic. Are you good? After a few minutes of rustling sounds, she must have calmed down. After taking a breath I can hear even outside, Tosaka opens the door.
で、何よ。
Tosaka glares at me as soon as she sees me.
いや、何って話の続きだよ。ギルガメッシュへの対抗策をもう少し考えたいんだ。
Wait, why are you glaring at me?
登坂、もしかして今すごく不機嫌か？
I ask the obvious. Of course. That's the obvious response she's going to give, but I have to ask. But...
別にそういうわけじゃないわ。
Caught me slipping, not gonna lie. She gives a strange response.
登坂、お前熱でもあるのか？
ないわよ。もういいから入ったら。ギルガメッシュをどうこうするかってことならこっちから行こうと思ってたんだから。
Alright, you have something? You gonna actually tell us now? Tosaka pulls me inside, locks the door, and walks to the back of the room. I move to the center of the room for now. I sit down on the cushion and face Tosaka, who is sitting in a chair. And an awkward silence follows. Tosaka is silent even though she's the one with the plan.
登坂、ギルガメッシュのことなんだが。
分かってるわよ。セイバーと戦わせたくないって言うんでしょ。セイバーには優しいのよね、ヘミヤ君は。
な、そういう話じゃないだろう。単にセイバーじゃあいつとは相性が悪いから配置換えをするべきだって話だ。足止め役のセイバーが倒されたら次に狙われるのは登坂なんだから。
じゃあ配置換えって言うけどどうするつもりよ。
I take on
私はパス
Gilgamesh.
よ。
I mean, that's gotta be what he's thinking.
あの金ピカ、金に焼かせてタイム術の武装をまとってるし。私じゃあセイバー以上に相性が悪いわ。それはあなただって同じでしょ。
That's true, but... I can't get those eyes out of my head. Archer definitely told me this. The golden servant, that only Emiya Shirou could match Gilgamesh.
登坂、怒らないで聞いてくれ。あいつの相手は俺が。
あなたがするって言うんでしょ。
Yep.
なんだ、やっぱり気づいてたんだ。ギルガメッシュの宝具の天敵はアーチャーの魔術なんだって。
I opened my mouth in surprise.
えって、シロー、あんた気づいてなかったっていうのにそんなふざけたこと口走ったわけ？
いや、それは確証がなかっただけで、俺たちの中なら一番俺に可能性があるかなと。
Yeah.
誰に入れ知恵されたか知らないけど、それは間違いじゃないわ。
It was Archer.
ギルガメッシュを最強たらしめているのは宝具の数でしょ。けど逆を言えば同じ数の宝具さえ持っていれば力は拮抗する。
同じ数の宝具。
So just make infinite of them. Unlimited blade works. It means I need to reproduce all the noble phantasms he takes out.
そうよ。あいつはあなたたちのことを偽物だって言ってたけど、それは敵として脅威を感じたからでしょうね。
If only he was
あいつは
alive.
英霊エミヤに対してだけは互角の戦いをせざるを得ないんだから。
That's true, but
そうかもしれない。けど無理がある。アーチャーの剣を一本投影するだけでボロが出るんだぞ。あんな次から次に宝具を出されたら投影も間に合わないし魔力も持たない。
あなたの魔術が今までと同じならね。けどアーチャーの宝具が何だったか覚えてるでしょ。
the reality marble.
あの魔術、固有結界さえ使いこなせるようになればギルガメッシュに対抗できる。
Yeah. He's gonna have to pull it off. I don't know how, but he's gonna have to. Tosaka stares at me. I can't live up to her expectation.
無茶だ。固有結界ってのは禁呪中の禁呪じゃないか。やり方がわからないし、 アーチャーが世界を作るときに使った魔力は俺の数倍だぞ。
Man, well, you better figure it out.
ええ、無理なのは分かってるけど、やり方ならあなたはもう知ってるはずよ。だってあなたの魔術は結局みんなそれなんだもの。必要な魔力さえあれば驚くぐらい簡単に歯車が噛み合うと思う。
Ah, yeah, just that easy.
仮にそうだとしても無理なことに変わりはないだろう。俺には結界を張る魔力も維持する魔力もないんだ。あいつは長い年月をかけて魔術回路を鍛えていったんだろうけど、俺には。
分かってる。でもギルガメッシュも言ってたでしょ。自分で補えないならよそから持ってくるのが魔術師だって。
だから俺にはそんなよそから魔力をもらってくるなんて器用な真似はできないんだって。もしかしてあの宝石を使おうっていうのか？
Possibly? I don't have a magical element, so I don't think I'd be able to do that.
それで済むならとっくに渡してるわ。
Fair.
けど私の宝石は私にしか変換できないから却下。でもアプローチとしてはそれしかない。他人の魔力を自分のものとして扱うのにはいろいろと手順があって、現状でできることといったらもうそれぐらいしかないわけだし。
なあ登坂、どんな考えかぐらい教えてくれないか？これじゃあ相談にも乗れない。
そんなことシロに言えるわけないじゃない。
Seems she thought of something she can't tell me about.
なんでもないの。方法はいくつか考えられるんだけど、その中で可能性の低いものを取捨選択していただけで。
そうなのか。それでいい考えがあるのか？
率直に言うと私とあなたの問題、魔力の蓄えのある魔術師同士をつないでやりくりする方法よ。
俺と登坂の間にパスを通して魔力の融通をする？
そう。シローに固有結界を使うための魔力量が足りなくても私にはある。あなたには私の魔力を使ってギルガメシュと戦ってもらう。その間に私とセイバーが聖杯を破壊する。こっちにはセイバーがいるんだから、私の魔力が多少減っても戦力は拮抗するわ。
Is this leading what I think it's supposed to lead to? If I can restrain Gilgamesh with my reality marble, as long as there are no other masters or servants left, the Holy Grail will be wide open. With a magist like Tosaka, as well as Saber, our chances of success might be pretty high.
しかしだな、その前の段階が難しいというか、俺はパスの通し方なんてわからない。
そんなの承知の上でよ。その方法を考えるのが私の役目なんだし。
Tosaka falls deep into thought for some reason. She doesn't look very happy.
パスの通し方だけど、即効性があって魔力の融通が可能となると方法は数えるほどしかない。一番有効なのは魔術回路をお互いに移植すること。
Is to what? Transplant magic circuits? Magic circuits are like a second nervous system. It could be called the Magus itself. The Magus is mechanisms that uses Ode to operate mana. Say the time comes when a future descendant attains mysteries. In order for them to have the basic ability to be able to use that theory, this living inheritance is added to over the generations. You could say it's like blood and bone that strengthens through the accumulation.
魔術回路って俺たちの中にあるあれか？
そう。魔術師の本質をお互いに移植すれば、これほど確実なパスはないわ。相手の回路の一部が自分のものになれば、そこへ魔力を伝えることは造作もない。
Her brief explanation contains some guilt as well. That's natural. If we do something as drastic as transplanting magic circuits, there's no knowing what might happen. A person who gives up their magic circuits is giving up their status as a magus. But if this will settle things, then I won't hesitate.
よし、俺の魔術回路を移植しよう。なんだよ、登坂。
気持ちは嬉しいけど却下。だって意味ないもの、それ。
You're so dumb. Just like that. I had prepared myself, but she quickly rejected my suggestion.
いい？そもそも魔力を融通するのはシローの固有結界を使うためでしょ。 なのにシロウの魔術回路を減らしてどうするのよ。私の魔力とシロウの全魔術回路を使って初めてあの固有結界は実現できるんだから。
I see. I'm the one who will be using the reality marble. To give shape to that immense illusion that erodes away the world, I need to completely open my magic circuits. Transplanting those circuits to Tosaka to make a path and consequently not having enough circuits to perform magic would be putting the cart before the horse.
分かって、手間暇かけて戦力ダウンしているようなものよ、シロ。
Yeah.
すまない。そこまで考えが及ばなかった。
Small brain.
いいわ、そんなに謝らなくても。今の返答、それなりに予想してたし。
じゃあ、遠坂の魔術回路を俺に？
But
確か
that's
にシロウの回路を私に移植するより逆の方が戦力は確保できる。でも移植の儀式をするのは私。魔術回路を使いながらその回路自体を減らしていくだなんていうのは術そのものの安定が確保できない。使い魔の契約ほど形式化していれば安全性は確保できるけど、魔術師同士のパスのためなんてのはあんまり例がないことだし。
友倒れになるかもしれないってことか。
そう。あなたの魔術回路を私がもらうのは論外。私の魔術回路をあなたにあげるのは惜しい不正解ってところね。
so. What's the plan?
だから
あ
なたに私の魔術刻印を移植する。
You kind of need that, right? A magic crest, a bloodline's history, in which all its secrets and mysteries are written. If magic circuits are blood and bone, then the magic crest would be the flesh. A magic crest is magic given form, the proof of a single magic's existence, as the family's head spends a lifetime giving intangible magic a form. As the inheritor of a magic crest, Tosaka can use the magic given shape by the past family heads.
いや、それは
分け与えるということなら魔術刻印の方が何倍も楽よ。魔術回路と違って本当に受け渡すためのものだから。
I mean, I suppose that's true, but
まあ魔術回路ほど私そのものでもないけど、遠坂の家系でできているものだしパスとして使う分には十分よ。
それは本当に？
本当だってば。刻印化している魔術はまあ使い物にならなくなるけど、受信装置としての役割ぐらいになら作り変えられるわよ。ああ、それとも成功率の話？一族じゃない人間に魔術刻印を移植できるかってこと？
more like losing that lineage. I feel like that's the biggest deal.
ああ、それも一応気になるけど。
大丈夫、任せなさい。きっかり白をバックアップしてセイバーと3人で勝ち残って聖杯を手に入れるから。もう決めたことだもの。ここ一番の失敗も今回ばかりはねじ伏せてやるわ。
I sure hope so. She asserts it brightly, with a beaming smile. With that, I knew that it was wrong of me to be worried, because she's removing her magic crest. With her own hands, she'll erase her bloodline's greatest desire. That fact. Tosaka easily laughs at it without showing a hint of regret. I've seen that strength many times now.
何よ、急に物分かりいい顔して。私の顔なんか変？
Yeah, how'd you know?
ああ、そうだな。初めて教会に行った時と同じだ。なんていうか、遠坂のいいところって分かりづらいよな。
I'm sure she'll take that well.
失礼な言い草ね。それで思い出したけど、あの時私って変な顔してたの？
That fateful night when I summoned Saber. When I was feeling sick in the church, Tosaka's expression as she showed sincere concern for someone who was nothing but an enemy helped me more than I can say. I don't have room to talk, but Tosaka turned out to be a better person than average.
まあ、変な顔だった。俺、あの時はまだ遠坂のことを優等生だって思ってたし、あんな顔するなんて思わなかった。
どうせ猫かぶりで冷酷な女ですよ。分かりづらくて悪かったわね。
Well, that's what saved me. She's soft-hearted, but a realist, with a strong heart that casts away her own weakness. She bottles her doubts and pain inside of her and moves forward magnificently, enough to dazzle those around her.
で、それはいいけど、なんでジロジロこっち見るのよ、あんた。
え、ああ、そっか。ちょい見とれてたみたいだ。今更だけどさ、そういう遠坂だから、俺は好きになったんだなって。
I'm sure she'll have a totally normal reaction to that statement. So I can't lose either. Tosaka generously, nonchalantly said she would transfer her magic crest to me, so I'll respond with utmost confidence for her sake.
好きって今はそういう話をしてる場合じゃないけど、聞いてあげるぐらいなら構わないというか。
Okay. Tosaka's fists are clenched. Good. She's full of fighting spirit, so she must realize how prepared I am.
ああ、わかってる。時間もないし、無駄話をしている暇はないよな。さ、早く移植を始めよう。具体的にはどうすればいいんだ、遠坂。
え？
Her mouth falls open. It's weird. Did I say something strange just now?
なんだよ。なんか都合の悪いことでも思い出しちまったか？
For example, some kind of jinx that means the ritual will fail if we do it at this hour.
別にちょっと頭痛がするだけ。
What? Okay, sure.
慣れたつもりだったけど、エミヤ君の巡りの悪さを甘く見ていたわ。ほんと、今に始まったことじゃないからいいけどね。言葉自体はまあ悪くなかったからよしにしといてあげるわ。
Turning away ostentatiously, Tosaka pulls some small objects out of her luggage.
はい。とりあえずこれ飲んで。痛み止めみたいなものだから。
おう。
I put the pill into my mouth. Tosaka turns off the light in the room, and begins etching some kind of design into the floor. I wait like this for 5 minutes. After finishing the preparations, Tosaka sits down on the bed.
それで遠坂、俺はどうすればいいんだ？
It's not that she didn't hear me. Tosaka furrows her brow in a strangely awkward expression.
なんだよ。言いにくいことなのか？覚悟はできてるからな。大抵の無茶なら驚かないぞ。
That's what it means to trust her. Tosaka nods in assent, and then...
じゃあ言いにくいんだけど、とりあえず服を脱ぎなさい。
Oh Lord. In a strained voice, she gives an unfamiliar order. Time to confirm the situation. The room's lights are off. Tosaka's sitting on the bed with her face down, strangely nervous. It's a bit late to confirm this. I think Tosaka's soft-looking body and extremely supple legs are sensational. Hello? Did I accidentally mess with the freaking H scene settings, or... And she ordered me to take off my clothes.
そこ変な誤解しない。単に服を脱げって言っただけでしょ。私だって脱ぐんだから公平だし。
She yells at me. I see. I think, withdrawing my strange expectation.
遠坂も脱ぐ。
I don't think that leaves much room for weird ideas or misunderstandings.
だから境界しない。服を脱ぐのは体温を伝えやすくするためで、それ以上の意味はないんだから。いい？魔術刻印の移植には高度な共感状態にならないといけないのよ。そのためにも余分なものはできるだけ剥ぎ取っておかないとダメでしょ。
Right.
ああ、なるほど。
That's right. I don't know what a magic crest transplant is all about, but transplant probably means something like a medical transplant, so we need to expose our skin.
ちゃんと説明してくれればいいのに。上だけでいいんだよな。
No.
当たり前でしょ。下まで脱いだら、そこのヒーター投げつけるから。
Okay, good. Okay. So I have the right settings on then. The scary part is that she probably would. I take off my shirt. She's given me treatment several times, but I'm still kind of embarrassed. I hear a deep breath in the dim light. Probably Tosaka's.
じゃあ次ね。シロ、ちょっとあっち向いてて。
そうか。遠坂も脱がなきゃいけないのか。
She doesn't answer. Her silence must be an affirmative answer. I turn around and fall silent. While I'm turned around, I take a deep breath to keep myself calm. I'm going to take over Tosaka's magic crest and make a path between us. I'll borrow Tosaka's magical energy in order to invoke the reality marble to defeat that servant. So this is just part of the process of that long and arduous battle. As long as I understand that, I should be able to shut out any unnecessary worldly thoughts.
いいわよ、シロ。
My heart skips a beat. I slowly turn around. Then, I know it's rude, but I unintentionally knit my brows.
遠坂。なんだ、その気合の入らない脱ぎ方は。
Wait, she took off what, one sock? Tosaka took off her clothes, but it doesn't feel like she put any effort into it.
何よ、不満だっていうの？
不満というよりバランスが悪いというか、だいたいこっちは上着を全部取ってるのに、遠坂はそれだけだと比率が合わないし、どうもシンメトリーじゃないのは。
Bro said nah, keep going. He said nah, keep going.
わかった。両足とも脱げばいいのね。こやつ、思いもよらずマニアックな。
Never knew this guy was such a maniac. Well, probably for the best that I don't inquire as to what she's talking about.
いいけど、儀式を行うのは遠坂だし、それで成功するっていうなら文句はない。
そりゃ脱がない分難度は上がるけど、だって全部見せちゃうのもったいないというか。
What? Tosaka mutters to herself. Thankfully, I've got my hands full keeping calm, so I can't argue with Tosaka.
じゃあシロ、もう一度後ろ向いてて。
I turn around as she mumbles. This time, the rustling of Tosaka's clothes goes on longer. One more time, I command my heart to remember that this is a serious ritual. Even if Tosaka's dressed immodestly, everything will be ruined if I let my mind race.
今度はこれでどう？シロ。
Tosaka's voice is trembling. I take a long look at her. I'm not screenshotting this. The light of the lamp softly illuminates her body. Her thin shoulders and neck, the lines of her collarbone are beautifully drawn.
どう？これで満足？
I'm relieved that Tosaka is still belligerent even when she's so beautiful. My face relaxes, and I may be smiling without meaning to.
文句なし。逆にこっちがきつい。
I hide my face with my hand and take a deep breath. My face is probably red, so I'll seem nervous unless I hide it.
その顔を見れただけでアイコンにしとく。じゃあシロ、こっち来て。
Tosaka beckons me from atop the bed. We sit across from one another. The bed bounces slightly under our weight. Neither of us speak a word, and we take another deep breath. The ritual to transfer Tosaka's magic crest is about to begin. We move closer together, and I stiffen my restless mind. I clear my head and concentrate.
始めるわ。シロの胸にこれを当てて。
She extends her left arm, where the magic crest is. Her arm is exposed, and the pattern on her upper arm emerges faintly as it fills with magical energy.
同調した後にシロの魔術回路に魔術刻印を移植する。魔術刻印は筆記他人の体。植え付けられるのは異物を盛り込まれることだから、体は拒絶反応を示すかもしれないわ。
わかった。そういう荒事には慣れてる。
That's what training my magic circuits always meant to me. Forcing a foreign second nerve into me and controlling it. I'm not sure if a magic crest is the same sort of thing.
そうね。 体に無茶させるのは慣れてるんだっけ。
Yeah. Sokka lets out a laugh, as if remembering my absurd training method has made her ease up. However,
それはそれとして、変なことしたら殺すからね。
she suddenly narrows her eyes and glares at me.
変なことって、例えば
She ignores me. She draws closer to me, our shoulders almost colliding. It's like I'm hugging Tosaka's left hand to my chest. Tosaka's breath is on the nape of my neck. Not just a deep breath, but...
清く将来。刻印制御。第一、第16停止。
This music is... What the... They really... I feel like they're really taking advantage of 3D sound. I could be crazy, but... No, they are. Okay. Because it keeps going back and forth in my headphones. Like, that main, like, melody, I guess. It's so weird. My breathing trembles as she says her spell. I can feel the magical energy coursing through Tosaka's body through her hand. Her slender fingers are upon my chest, my heartbeat, and Tosaka's pulse.
名薬を刻む。一つ、二つ、三つ、四つ、五つ、六つ、数えなく。
It's a really nice looking CG, actually. I close my eyes and try to deepen my concentration. The pulse and waves overlap. Osaka is the one uniting them, and I maintain the rhythm. I unify my mind and keep my mind clear like I do when I train. It's all I can do, since I have no experience in sympathizing.
小さく、大きく、大きく、小さく、広く、発症。
My eyes are shut so tightly it's as if they're sewn shut. My sense of smell dulls, and my tongue tastes nothing. My body's senses are going out of whack. I can't tell if I'm sitting or standing. On the other hand, Tosaka's touch feels hot. I can't differentiate my own pulse from Tosaka's waves. I hallucinate someone gripping my heart. I imagine myself gripping someone's heart. I grope around with my fingers to check the feeling of the palm being transmitted to me. My ears still work, and I hear that voice. No, my body is so unclear that I can't tell if that was my body, or if what I just heard was Tosaka's voice. My breathing sounds like someone is in pain. I know it's not my own breathing I'm hearing, so I listen carefully.
ちょっと、真面目にやりなさいよ、シロ。
I get scolded from inside myself. I try to ask what this means, what's happening.
今は同調の初期段階よ。だから感覚が入れ替わって混乱している。これから本番が来るわよ。集中しないと共有感覚に弾かれるから。
That's all I hear before suddenly losing sight of myself. It feels like my body has turned into paper that is being folded up. It's being slowly, carefully put away. But time has stopped in the outside world, so from the outside it must look like it's happening at the speed of light. There's no end to the stowing and reduction. Any flat object should have a limit to how many times it can be folded, no matter how wide its surface area. But my body is being shut up deeper and deeper. My field of vision is turning blue. The world before I was folded up is red. I'm floating. I'm falling but floating, and the world is passing by me at high speed. When I try to reach out my hand to get used to this fast yet frozen world, I realize that my arms are already folded up. It's worrying. I got rid of the excess things and the things I don't need here, but there's a problem if I don't have my limbs. I can't recognize myself. So the first thing I should do isn't to affirm the world, but to hypothesize my own form. What the... I clench both my hands. Even if only hypothetically, I recognize my own self. There's no top or bottom, no sky or earth. I'm floating in a blue celestial sphere. It's peaceful, not in terms of sound, or rather the entire shape is peaceful and complete. Whoa. Time is passing outside. The outside is entirely filled by this blue sea. There's nothing inside this celestial sphere. In other words, from the perspective of the blue sea, the sphere itself is the sky. A world egg. Has this sphere been covered with a shell? Or have the exterior and interior been reversed? Is this everything born from nothing, or nothing forced out from everything? Inverted, the celestial sphere continues to turn. Time continues to turn. An intangible thing that took form over many months and years. There's no repeated form and no different life. A phenomenon shared by everything. Things of the same form gather and give shape to entirely different laws. Each rare cause displays a great effect. Beautiful, just like fish traversing the sea. There's no will in this complete world. No persistence or defense, no symbiosis or antagonism. Everything that comes here is taken as intent. If I am a foreign substance come to explore it, then they will respond naturally. A remarkably long time passes. The assembly of the crest draws the design of the foreign substance. But what requires caution is... It inverts. I see an illusion. A hidden past comes through, one that is not my own. I see an old memory. The morning of parting with a certain person. Someone else's memory. Of being sent to a holiday villa far from Fuyuki because of the beginning of a conflict. There's getting Tosaka's memories now. What requires caution is, no matter what the intent behind the reaction is, to the human consciousness, the process they are carrying out is nothing less than divine punishment. In this body that has no need for eyes or brain, I feel dizzy. Information is passing me. I return to an old memory. The morning of parting with a certain person. Someone else's memory. Of seeing off someone who would never hold their hand again. The lines of the magic crest swim around me. They swirl around, searching for the bait that has appeared. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing bait can do to begin with. The only way to produce a result is to observe and accept everything in this way. The transformation is gradual. Time surrounds me like a spiral and passes within me. And corrodes me, as if swallowing nothingness. Persons, 2. Season, winter. Title, farewell. A bouquet is offered up. A young girl stands before a gravestone. Behind her stands a towering priest. No words are spoken. This day, too, the girl firmly bottles up her grief. Foreign substance added. The spiral blade ringing the body, like a vicious thrush. The transfer of the crest has begun. I observe a gruesome fact. Thankfully, my ability to feel pain has been folded away. As if it is someone else's concern, I watch myself being locked up, bound, dismembered, disassembled, and played with. Flesh is very easily shredded. Bone is very easily whittled. All that is left is a soul that will feel pain for all eternity. Why does this sound so much like if he had ended up in that church's basement? It's like one arm has become the leg of an insect. It feels disgusting. This is her pain too. The pain I once heard of carrying the magic crest. I feel respect for her. She holds in this level of discomfort, maybe many times more repulsive, with a brilliant smile. It doesn't feel unpleasant at all. If I think of that, what is there to fear? I touch an even deeper place, and her memories full of nothing but partings. There was one meeting that filled her heart with longing. Someone was running in the school grounds, a running high jump. He ran towards a bar over and over. She was watching, for no reason until the sun set, wondering what meaning there was to such a thing. Looking somehow betrayed, looking as though she was seeing something precious, she gazed at the scene for a very long time. That's all there is to the story. An after-school occurrence that could happen anywhere. But to her, it was an indelible childhood memory, something akin to a revolution. Faintly, I recognized the scene too, from a day very long ago. Time returns to the outside. The world is returning to completion. My consciousness, solidified from being folded up so tightly, begins to disappear. Like a bubble bursting on the surface of the sea. Accepting the foreign body in my arm, I'm cut loose from the inside. Is it done? That was trippy. My body feels heavy. Still half asleep, I open my eyes and look around aimlessly. My consciousness becomes clear. I'm lying face up on a bed with my shirt off. My left shoulder is hot and sweaty. When I try to wipe it off with my hand, it stings like a burn. Something feels off, as if I've grown an extra finger. I'm clearly different than I was before now. How much time has passed? Maybe I passed out and overslept and it's been several hours. So she is here. Good. Thought I overslept. Wait. I think I might be getting glared at here.
遠坂、成功したのか?
もちろん成功したわよ。申し分ないぐらいバッチリ。後遺症なんて出ないぐらいきっかり。そういうのが得意だった綺麗だって、我が弟子ながらよくやったって陰険に褒めるぐらい完璧に。
Okay. Guess that means it worked really well. Just one problem. Sokka doesn't seem boastful or proud. Actually, she's mad. Really mad. She's sulking like she's about to blow her top. Looks like the situation has gone kinda bad. I need to catch on to why she feels this way, and calm her down as quickly as possible. But unworthy student that I am, I can't even figure out what my master is angry about. My upper arm throbs with pain. It's a weird sensation, like a deep cut combined with a burn. There's no doubt about it. A design is branded on my left shoulder. It gives off a faint blue light, not unlike Tosaka's magic crest. Wow, I wonder why.
遠坂、これが...
ええ、私から移植した魔術刻印よ。もうただの回路になって、元の魔術の痕跡もないけどね。
そうか。いや、すごいな。もっと痛むと思ったのに全然痛みがない。かすかに重いぐらいか。
それも時期になれるわ。魔力をつなげるだけのパスだから、人体にもそう影響はないはずだし。刻印、いえ、回路の方が体に擬態していくから、半年もすれば何も感じなくなる。
Well, that's a long time.
じゃあこれで
移植は完了。基本的には私からシローへの一方通行で、そっちから魔力を送ることはできないわ。今ここからはあなたの頑張り次第よ。固有結界を作る魔力はこれでクリアしたんだから、あとは
Actually creating it? Me. All that's left is for me is to activate... Oh, goodness. All that's left is for me to activate all my magic circuits and successfully create the reality marble.
そうだな。ありがとう、遠坂。魔術刻印、ありがたくもらっておく。
当然よ。ごめんなんて言わせないわ。お金にしたらもう超クラス。一生ものの貸しなんだから。
It'd be in the trillions. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
そりゃ確かに一生ものだ。で、どうしてそんなに遠坂は怒ってるんだ？
見たでしょ。
Perhaps.
え？
Saw what? It couldn't be. I was totally blank during the ritual. Did I actually push Tosaka down or something?
待った。なんかしたのか、俺。
You know, he completely
だ
forgot.
から見たでしょ、このけだもの。
けだもの。
No way. Did I really do something that would make me deserve to be called that? No, it can't be. I mean, the bed doesn't look very messed up. And if something like that had happened, I wouldn't be alive now anyway.
そうだ。第一、儀式中は俺の目は機能してなかったっていうか、ほとんど真っ白だったし、見たものといえば魔術回路っぽいイメージと。
Ah. Does that mean Tosaka was talking about that? The illusions I glimpsed. It's not unusual to see visions at the depths of someone's mind when in a sympathized state. Must be the same thing as me seeing Saber's dreams, or the heroic spirit Emiya's. I slapped my knee in understanding. In that case, what I'm most curious about is that one. A dusky schoolyard that didn't fit in with the other dreams.
あれだ。遠坂変な夢見てただろ。どこかの学校の校庭でバカみたいに棒高跳びしてるやつをずっと日が暮れるまで見ていたの。あれって一体なんだ？
I do wonder. Before I can finish, a pillow smacks me in the face. It's like a slash combined with a full swing. A satisfactory blow that Saber or Fujini would admire. There's one problem. The normally fluffy pillow has such an impact and damage that it's as if it's filled with water.
遠坂、何を？
うるさい、うるさい、うるさい。
Oh god, is she pummeling us? She pursues me with that pillow. Tosaka hits me repeatedly with overhead swings of the pillow in her immodest state.
なんか魔力込めてないか、それ。
Treat nothing like Kazuki's fists.
いいからやめる。変だぞ。何がどうしたんだ？
うるさいけだもの。人の秘密を覗き見ておいて、何ふんぞり返ってるのよ。
ちょっと待て。秘密ってあんなのがか？
Jesus. I shout in surprise and receive a direct hit to the face from the opening in my guard. An agonizing pillow uppercut. The fact that you strengthen a pillow with magical energy, that's amazing. Combined with the fatigue from the transfer, I'm knocked down again. Osaka must still be angry as she grabs the back of my neck and drags me across the floor. What? She's gonna kill us.
いいわよ。いつかこっちから恥ずかしい記憶を覗き返してやるんだから。その時は土下座をしても許さないわよ。
Okay.
それは勘弁。あれ？もしかして。
I wasn't able to ask after all. She tosses me out of the room by my neck.
エミヤくん、女の子にはいろいろ支度があるから、自分の部屋に戻っててくれない？
With that mean grin of hers, Tosaka slams the door. Pushed into the hallways without my shirt, I stare blankly at the door. Can't even get your shirt back?
男にだっていろいろあるぞ。
I stand up, still clutching my dizzy head. I want to say something back to Tosaka on the other side of the door, but I give up. In the end, I wasn't able to ask what the scene I saw meant to Tosaka.
まあ、あれだけ嫌がるってことは何か特別な意味のあることなんだろうし。
That's probably putting it lightly. Muttering stupidly to myself, I go back to my room. It was probably just an excuse for Tosaka to kick me out, but it's true that there's no time. The date has already changed. There's probably less than an hour left before we head to the temple.
確かに、これは。
Can I just get a point to wrap it up? I close my eyes and feel the magical energy pouring into me. Tosaka isn't consciously supplying me with magical energy yet, but it's already enough to fill me up. If Shirou's magical energy capacity is 20 or 30, she always has 500 magical energy. I'm sure it would take years to fill up her whole capacity, but I bet her maximum capacity could reach 1,000.
驚いた。あいつ、
Yes.
本当にすごいやつだったんだ。
She's kinda good at that whole Magus thing, huh? Makes me realize her greatness again. Well, she's exhausted right now, and most magi only keep about 80% of their magical energy. So Tosaka has about 400 magical energy right now. But that's still a huge amount. I use about 2 magical energy to use 1 strengthening magic, and about 5 magical energy to use 1 projection magic. Using that example, I can use my projection magic dozens of times now when I could only do it 6 times before.
ま、いくら燃料があっても、乗り物が安物ならオーバーヒートするんだろうけど。
But this has greatly increased my power. I might even be able to beat that King of Heroes with this. All that's left is...
あと1時間。それまで、ゆっくり体を休めないと。
That you should. I'll rest and recover my mental and physical energy for the final battle at the Ryudo Temple. Everything is set. I'll fully prepare myself since Tosaka has given me her magic crest and opened up her heart to me. Okay. Whew! Goodness. We have been recording for a little bit. So, first of all, goodness, man, almost 4 hours of recording. Jeez, I gotta get out of this chair. Ugh, man. Okay. Anyways, absolutely amazing episode. Absolutely amazing. They somehow just keep getting better and better and better, right? Like this whole route. I feel like we've reached the climax at this point. I don't know that we can really beat this episode. I feel like the fight with Gilgamesh is going to be really good and satisfying, and Shirou's going to become more powerful, and then we'll have a probably nice conclusion, I hope, right? But I feel like we've probably reached the climax of the route, right? I mean, we'll see. We'll see, right? Maybe the fight with Gilgamesh will somehow top the confrontation with Archer, right? The pure determination of Shirou and Archer, like, gradually mentally losing to him before finally being defeated by him, right? That was such a satisfying build-up and conclusion to that. It was just so well done. Seeing Archer's pain, right? And how being a guardian, like, was never what he expected and how he regretted everything, right? It hurt. And then finally, it was like he kind of returned to his old self, as he said, you know? And in the last moments, and he was defeated by our Shirou. Just wow. Absolutely amazing. I mean, there's so much more than that in this episode, right? It's not even just that. I mean, that's the big event. That's the main event, right? But obviously you have Lancer killing Kirei, wounding Shinji, saving Tosaka, and dying, right? Absolute determination. Amazing moment. Respect is up for Lancer. And then we have, obviously the fight, which I already kind of commented on. And in the moment I talked about it. I don't have much else to say besides that fight was amazing, and I loved the conclusion. But then Gilgamesh shows up, and that's a problem, right? Saber alone can't match Gilgamesh, and his arrogance, right, is the only reason we will even have a chance against him, because we'll have all that extra time to prepare, his arrogance, not wanting ash on his coat or on his shirt, literally is the reason we're not dead. So gave us some time to prepare. We came to terms with what's going to happen, and we got Tosaka's magic crest, and we're on to fight Gilgamesh. I'm really looking forward to the fight. I mean, Shirou's totally gonna do it, right? Like, he's gonna pull it off. I feel like he will. Man. Just an amazing episode overall. I'm really looking forward to see how this fight with Gilgamesh wraps up, because I'd assume next episode will be the last episode of Unlimited Blade Works, before we get into all the extra stuff, of course, because I'll still do all that. But I'd assume this is going to be the last episode. Hopefully, I didn't like split it horribly, because it'd be kind of awkward if the next episode is like way shorter than this one, like by like a lot. Like I'm talking like it's like an hour or something, and I didn't split this. That'd be kind of awkward. It's very possible. I hope not. If it is what it is, I guess. But I'm looking forward to that conclusion. I hope you guys will join me for that. Realistically, I'd expect it soon. Like sooner than normal. There's a very good chance it comes out the day after this video is released, because frankly, this video is probably coming out the day after the most recent video, because I'm recording this pretty much at the time of release of my most recent video. I started recording at about 4 or 5 hours after that video's release, and I honestly might just upload it tomorrow. And if this is uploaded the day after, that means I said screw it, and I'm just probably gonna run through it all. So don't be surprised if the next episode comes out like tomorrow, if that happens. So either way, you can expect the next episode very soon. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I immensely enjoyed it. I know this one was really long. For those of you who don't like videos this long, I'm sorry. For those of you who do, well, I hope you enjoyed this this absolute behemoth of a video. That'll be all for now. I hope to see you guys on the next episode whenever it comes out. Peace.